welcome to Adventures in Alberon, our 5th edition D&D campaign. I'm Joe Truff, your Dungeon Master for tonight and most other nights. Joining me, as always, I have Matt, Dan, Hannah. Oh, I got so close. I did it yesterday, too.
Jeff!
Yeah, Alana, Jeff, basically the same thing. And Tina. Alana and Tina. Thank you for joining us for Adventures in Alberon. If you joined us last night for Mosaic Team 5 Session 4, thank you so much. That was a lot of fun as well. A couple of announcements before we get started. We do have an Instagram, at Alberon RPG. What?
I was like, is it 4? Mosaic Team 4 now? I thought it was Mosaic Team 5.
No, Mosaic Team 5. Did I say 4?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Episode 4,
Episode
Mosaic
4.
Team 5.
I was like, oh god, did someone die on the stream already?
Yeah, they only have 5 lives. A couple of announcements before we get started. We do have an Instagram, at Alberon RPG. There are a lot of small maps and things like that, hand-drawn things that are hard to see on the camera here. We do have like a cool combat camera, and so you can see things that are on the table. I think right now it's just the table.
Looks like it's pretty much a table.
It's pretty much a table. But we do have that. It's easier to see on Instagram, at Alberon RPG. I talked about Mosaic Team 5, but if you want to join us for the 5th session, that will be at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday next week. The group is proceeding into the Harbinger Robotics Factory, which seems somewhat odd.
Be fun.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Big brain.
So we're going to be joining in on Gibbs, the Asoki Mystic, speaking to a corpse. We also have a website at Alberon, www.alberonrpg.com. Man, Fridays are tough. I didn't even go to work. www.alberonrpg.com. There is a whole bunch of information about both campaigns, Mosaic Team 5 and Adventures in Alberon. You can see the players. There's a bunch of information in terms of this campaign and what's happened over the last 3 years that it's been run. This is the 102nd session. As well as 16 or 17, depending on how you want to look at it. In-canon one-shots. Those are all at www.alberonrpg.com. There is also a world guide to Dominion, the continent that we're playing on. It has 26 new magical items, including the Maker, which Shay has in possession. I think there's a few other things that people have or have had. And then, finally, for the music and sound effects that we use, we're using a digital tool set called Sirenscape, which you can inject sound into anything that you want to through your life. So Sirenscape, check that out. And with that, to bring us into our recap.
Matt did not like that lychee seltzer.
It's bad.
It's horrible, right?
I like lychee.
I know, so do I.
I don't like that
told
seltzer.
you something's wrong with it.
It's not a sponsor.
The fruit lychee, not a sponsor.
It's not. It's.
Are you still drinking?
Because I'm thirsty.
I saw him take a swig, and then just a horrible face.
Thank you.
Adventure.
And then he
So bad.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm ready.
Adventures. Last we played,
Much better.
you descended into the Underdark, first stopping to puzzle your way through the long-preserved remains of a stone giant sanctum, with art crafted sometime, perhaps during the Last Age, but sort of a musing on what it means to be made from stone. After making it past a screen of falling glass, you emerged into the Underdark proper and made your way along the sandstone caverns and tunnels, slowly making your way underneath the Kuatar Badlands. After walking for nearly an hour, you were ambushed by the undead, and a floating cloak with spectral remains that seemed to act as a conduit through which Thystris himself could exert his will, albeit in a more limited form. You fought around the edges of a cloud kill spell, with Shay rushing through the mist unaffected. Brenna, using Misty Step, gifted to her through her rage to step through the obstacles of the battlefield, swinging wildly and disappearing into a puff of smoke before re-emerging next to her next target. Eleanor and Oakfeld held the front line, with Oakfeld's sprawling roots in his tree-like form, preventing the many Death Pledge warriors from ambushing those near the front. Eleanor, you strafed to the outside of the tunnel, engaging the undead one at a time with their dancing rapier. It is zoomed out. Akka, you flew up towards the ceiling, squaring off against the proxy of Thystris. And though you managed to see it slain, it whispered to you, "Never gone. Not really." You pushed forward, ever forward, and As the tunnel progressed and grew smaller, you noticed the sandstone shift to more gray rock. Suddenly, the walls transitioned to brick, formed by much smaller hands than the giants that you've been used to. And the space beyond opens up. You can see in front of you sort of a smaller room, kind of archways and larger ceiling in the space. You hear, give me 1 second actually, let me play some sounds for you. Tell me if the music is too loud, okay? Alright. In front of you, you can see a room perhaps 15 by 15, square, gray kind of tile floors. And beyond, you can hear what sounds like perhaps Shay. Your passive perception is 20. Is anybody else in that region?
Mine's a
17.
17.
I have advantage on perception checks that rely on sight.
Okay.
I don't know if I have it up right now. No, I don't.
Currently, through your perception, and passive though it may be, you can hear the sound of metal on stone somewhere in the distance.
Is this the grindy room?
It seems like a grindy room.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have grindy room written on my map.
You hear metal, stone, something cutting through air off in the distance. You hear the sound of something heavy swinging. But in front of you, 15 feet beyond to this room, you can see a door. A heavy door. Iron with a single small handle at the bottom. And you're flush with the ground. What would you all like to do?
Do we see what the swingy thing is?
Whatever the sound is, you listen, and in the cracks in the tiles and the wall on the floor, little bits of air come through, and through that you're hearing the sound beyond. It seems like whatever this is,
in an adjacent room or something.
something nearby. Yeah.
Okay.
Through the door.
But the room itself is just 15 by 15, relatively empty room with the iron doors.
Correct.
Great. Okay. Yeah.
One iron door. It's large, and instead of handles to open it from the side near the
No,
bottom,
like
to the
crevices where something might spike up at us or anything.
Make a
I'm
perception
gonna
check.
check for traps.
Make an investigation check.
I don't know why I'm doing. Oh,
I'm
natural
lost.
20.
Nice.
That's why.
18.
Okay. You look around at the space, and you notice as an artificer the markings of the brick in these walls. Small chisel marks. Things that perhaps you've seen before. You were in the Underdark in the Cold Forge, right? This is Duergar construction. You've seen this kind of work before. And for you, Brenna, who spent some time in the Underdark, similar to smaller communities that you might have seen. The construction familiar in ways, but old. Certainly old. You hear the sound again, but you do not see anything like crevices for traps.
Okay.
With a natural 20. You look at the ground, you look at the seams in the floor, and you don't see anything. You see dust having settled. And on the ground, very little dust. There has been transit through here. And so there would not be this dust on the cracks if there was something that would come out. You take a few steps forward, feeling a little bit more confident, and approach the door. And as you do, you notice something about the handle. You bend down, kind of taking a knee, and looking underneath, there are barbs to the bottom of this. And had somebody tried to lift this without noticing that, it would have probably caught on the fingers. You can see these twisted, rusted bits of metal. But standing up, it appears as if this door does stand between you and progress beyond.
Alright, well, the room seems safe enough, but watch the
Howdy,
door
dog.
handle.
Can I look at the handle? And so you're saying that the door, to open it, you like lift up instead of...
Yeah, so if you think about the motion for something like a jerk and clean or like a
sure.
deadlift, you really need to go down and then lift up.
I
And this
gotcha.
door, it looks heavy. Looking at the handle, it seems as if it's part of the same metal, so not something that's been welded on, and the door itself looks thick and sturdy.
So can I look at the handle, if knowing that these like barbs are there, can I see a way to kind of like wedge my fingers in and get purchase while avoiding the barbs?
You see Eleanor down on one knee, and you just kind of squat a little bit and look. With your smaller stature as a gnome, you can see these barbs beyond. And you would imagine just wrapping something around them, knowing that they're there, would protect your fingers pretty well. Obviously, you don't want to use cotton, but if you had like a scrap of leather or something of that nature, that would certainly work.
Anybody have a scrap of leather or something of that nature?
I'd pull out some. I think would rope work? You like kind of coil it
Yeah,
around
certainly.
and
Yeah, you can
use
just kinda
that to
wrap
get the
it around.
grip.
Yeah.
All right.
Bring out
So-
some like rope.
Do that, and then I say to Oakfeld, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna lift it. I'm strong, but I'm really short, so get ready to catch it as I lift it. And then I try to like hoist it up as high as I can.
Make an athletics check.
14, 24.
24. For you, this is pretty easy, but you can feel the heft of
Nice.
this. You get your fingers around, kind of making interlocking grips, and you jerk with all of the muscles in your shoulders, and this door pulls up, friction against the rocks. You lock your elbows, kind of catching it. Your whole form shifts down, but this door, with your strength, you hold it open, maybe like 3 feet.
Yeah, it's like 3 feet up in
up
the
at chest height.
I'm like, all right, guys, can someone else
Nice.
push it the rest of the way,
Impressive.
please?
The room beyond is dark. You can see perhaps 10 by 10, small, and as soon as you open the door, almost right in front of your face, this huge metal ball stops inches from your nose and swishes off into the darkness. You see it just moving like a pendulum. You see beyond 10 feet a door. There seems to be some kind of magical darkness in the frame. You cannot see beyond, but these sounds, the metal cutting air, much louder.
Does the door like stay put, or do I need to hold it?
You need to hold it.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, like, it was easy for you to put up there.
Yeah.
Maintaining it will be difficult.
Okay.
Once
No.
Brenna gets it up, like help assist, lift
Okay.
and push it a little higher.
Sure. So Shay suddenly kind of scooping down to a knee, gets a shoulder underneath and stands, and you feel the weight lift significantly. With the two of you there, a little bit easier. You can certainly hold it now without issue. But you see again this pendulum kind of moving in the room.
Is it like this or like circular pendulum swing? Rotationally.
So you will see this is the, or sorry, it is 15 by 15. This is the room that the pendulum is in. It swings, covering all of those spaces in a figure 8. It
So
swings
we're
relatively quickly. You guys
here?
are all not wait in
Or-
that room.
We're in
Here.
the hallway,
Other
right?
direction, other direction. So there's a hallway
Okay.
beyond this. The
Oh.
magical darkness is in that door. Based on the size of the door, you can tell it is like a 5-foot wide hallway going forward. Can't really see beyond, but you hear these little blades, certainly multiple of them through that hallway.
Now, are the chisels on the walls, are they hollow? Do they go in deep, or are they just like kind of surface level chisels?
Eleanor, you still have the torch out?
Yes.
As Eleanor takes the torch, kind of looking in the room, you can see from the torch these small marks where the chisel has worked it. It's not like smooth stone, but they're not dug in by any means. It just shows how the brick was made.
Okay.
Alright, so you said it was magical darkness, so is the torch effective?
The torch is effective up into the doorway, but you can't see that hallway beyond. It's
Okay.
just black in that door.
Alright, well, is there any way we can wedge this door so they don't have to keep holding it like this? Because we can't just stand here forever. I'm guessing that's a no.
I have a
could
crowbar.
create, and I'm going to grow my arm and create a couple cancerous barbs.
Okay.
And I'm going to look over at Hannah. Brenna, sorry. I bleed for the matron. And I'm going to cut him off.
Oh my
Jeez.
god.
Fantastic. Roll 20 set of dice, just for fun. It's an attack roll.
Which one?
20 set of dice, it's an attack roll, just to make sure it's not a crit.
D20.
Yeah. 3.
Nice, okay, great. Oakfield, you take 11 points. We'll call it bludgeoning damage as you kind of snap away this bit of wood. You see there is a splash of sap that runs and almost begins to harden immediately on the arm. but you now have like a basketball-sized knot. 2 of them, if you want.
I'm gonna lift them up heavily and put them up to the door. Is it tall enough?
I mean,
They're like
so
basketball
like
size.
this size, so they'll hold the door up about that much.
Mm-hmm.
It's
You
better than
look,
nothing.
Brenna can definitely get under. Maybe Eleanor and Shay. For you and Akka, definitely not wide enough.
Okay.
Well, look. If we're fortunate enough to come back here, we'll have enough time to open the door.
True. Right. So I'm gonna see if I can like get the timing of the figure 8.
Okay.
And well, does anyone have any better ideas besides just gunning it?
Not unless we see like a button or something, a lever. Do we see a button or a lever?
Make a perception check.
That's a natural 1, Joe.
You look around, and you know, as you look, your eye is kind of scanning this familiar yet alien architecture. You think you might see a button on the other end. Hard to tell.
I tell that to the group, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe we could go try to push that button, but we'd still need to get around this pendulum thing.
Shay, rocks, paper, scissors.
I mean, I can get through.
Could you do that, please? Go see if that button will turn off the mechanisms.
I cannot
Do
hold
I
this door.
see this button?
Make a perception check.
It's
You can see
we
Shay
let
wearing
it shut,
this
right?
Gilded
What?
gold and red
There's
metallic
enough
mask.
room for us to stand at the room
25.
without
25.
dodging the pendulum.
You get to
Well,
the
if-
edge and you squint. You
Well,
use the
hold on.
little
If we
bits of
make it
fire to increase the bits of dark vision that you do have from this kind of gilded red hawk mask of night sight. Looking through, there is no button. You can see maybe like a little chisel mark that could perhaps be mistaken for one by one who needs like correction for vision, but it certainly doesn't look like a button. You see the magical darkness beyond, and you hear blades cutting through air beyond. You see the pendulum swing.
Don't think there's a button. Do I see anything else?
With that check, you see little bits of dust on the ground shake as this pendulum moves past. That's all that you really see. It's a relatively unremarkable room.
How fast is this pendulum moving?
Pretty fast. Trying to kind of clock and time it for you, no problem. You could run past. You would imagine if it were to have a speed in a round, probably close to 60. It's moving pretty quick.
I'm gonna look at my wound that's oozing with sap, and I'm going to cast Healing Spirit.
Okay.
The way I'm gonna do this is like before when I was bringing up the vines from the earth. I'm going to do that, but at this time I'm going to have it wrap around my arms, kind of like in a way of like a religious way where they just strap around my arms and just like tighten really, really tight. It looks like it hurts at this
Okay.
point.
So as you cast the spell from the ground, it's like the writhing of the roots when you take your tree form. But as they poke up, kind of moving up, they twist up your leg, moving more like worms than roots, detaching in places. They cover the arm, going tight, and you can feel kind of the skin pressured, and it does hurt a little bit. The sap kind of oozing through the magical vines before they wither and die, and underneath you can see healed skin.
Fern, I don't want to just drop this on you.
I kind of like get my like my legs under me properly, and I like make sure I got it, and then I go, okay, I got it. You can let
It's
go.
like the Atlas position. you
Yeah.
know? Yeah, great. Brenna gets low to the ground. And go ahead if you would like to make an acrobatics check. You can. Now, before you do, what is your goal? Where are you trying to go?
Talon, give us a wheel.
Trying to,
Thanks, Talon.
I guess, map it in
Okay.
a way that creatures slower than I am could follow, if that makes sense.
Everyone else in this
Make a
room.
flat intelligence check.
So while she's playing this. We'll be
19.
like,
Wait,
people
20.
come
Dirty
through
20.
this regularly. There must be something.
19.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
You look and you can tell as this thing moves, going to the right will afford you a fraction more of a second. Just in the way that it swings, the sort of apex of its motion is on the left side of the room. You have that extra second where it hangs before dropping back.
Okay.
That's your easiest bet. Now, that will get everybody to the dark part, right where the edge of this doorway is, but you could still be hit by the pendulum there. To be safe from that, you need to step through.
Well, I can go take a look through, or if, assuming it is a through.
I'm just gonna hold the door until I know that there's a way through, and then like once everybody else is done, then I'll like do whatever dodging
Sure.
needs to happen. But until then, I'm
haven't-
holding the
I
door.
haven't left yet, so we're still doing it together.
You can hear Brenna's breath, still relatively steady, but getting a little bit more, a little harder. This is not a light door.
Alright, whatever it is we're gonna do, we better get moving. See if there's something to disable in there, maybe?
Do you want someone to go with?
I'll just take a step through and see what there is. Make my way back after.
Okay, be careful.
Good luck.
Alrighty. Go ahead and make an acrobatics check.
I'll take your place holding the
Okay,
The
yeah, you
door
kind of
up.
wedge your way in, and then as your shoulder catches the door, Shay moves out.
27.
27. In that instant, as Shay steps out, you can see this pendulum, and Shay's gone. Almost as if she's hit, but you see just in a flash the white clothing behind before it vanishes beyond the darkness. Shay, make a dexterity saving throw.
25.
25.
nice.
In a burst of speed, as you get there, everything slows down, and you see, from like a cinematic perspective, the camera would capture you on the far side as this one glaive, and then it's followed by 4 more. You can see stretching down this 30-foot hallway, every 5 feet, a glaive larger than you cut through the air. In this moment, you have to make a decision, and you accelerate through. And with that check, you move straight down the hallway right before all of them swing again. In that instant, getting to the end of the hallway.
Okay.
You now stand in a 10-foot space before a door. Simple, wooden, almost inviting in a way.
And those glaives begin immediately beyond the darkness?
Yes. So the first one is literally inches from the darkness.
Okay. Do I see anything over here that would disable any of these?
Make an investigation check.
Dirty 20.
A dirty 20.
Eleanor's just like holding the torch watching.
Yeah.
Just like,
It's tough. This place,
She'll be back.
the magical darkness at the door does extend a little bit, and an element of that seems to almost dim the little bit of light that you can see with your dark vision. You don't have the light from Eleanor's torch. This is like true darkness.
Sure.
But with Talon's wheel to push you over to 21,
Nice.
you do kind of look through and look at this door, this welcoming door, and that does to you signal danger. The welcoming nature is not the wood or the metal, it's something beyond, something that feels dangerously welcoming and charismatic, perhaps. However, the door itself, there is an unusual element to this kind of latching mechanism, and looking at it, it seems as if in some way it does connect to this hallway beyond. With that role, kind of following these mechanisms, thinking to what Gamble has taught you over the years in his tinkering workshop, it seems as if this door, when you open it, may disable the saws beyond. Or the saws that you've gone through, rather.
Sure. Does it look openable? Like, does
With that check, doesn't seem locked. There's no lock, no keyhole.
I'll open it.
Okay. Those of you with particularly good hearing, a passive perception of over 16, you hear beyond this. A wooden door, old and heavy on the hinges, opening. Shay, you see the next room beyond, diamond-shaped, 30 feet on a side, though in the middle, a series of small flames just kind of burn, soft, purple. amidst dim arcane ruins. Within, you see a figure hunched over, red skin, ragged fur kind of coming off in patches around the body. You see horns kind of rising up, but different than a tiefling's. And as the leg kind of folded under it slides out, you see hooved feet. This is a devil of some kind. And as the eyes look up through this darkness, they burn. You see a smile. What are the rest of you doing beyond?
Well, I didn't hear any horrifying screams. So.
I heard the door open, and so I'd probably like get kind of like listen to see, is Shay gonna like give us the okay, or does she find something? I'll probably wait like 30 seconds and see, do I hear something from Shay, or should I try to go in after her?
Okay. You crane your neck. 5 seconds pass. Oakfelt, make an intelligence saving throw, please.
Oh, jeez. Gonna push me into the fucking pendulum now or something?
Deserve it. 13.
13.
Flat 13.
Suddenly, in the darkness, you feel a pressure in the back of your mind. Maybe the dampness, maybe some element of being so far away from the sky, almost like a sinus pressure. And then you hear a voice in the back of your mind, like a gentle breeze in the autumn. There is nothing to fear, Oakfelt. Step forward, enter the darkness, and regain your honor.
My friends, we must continue on.
Give Shay a minute. She's usually, she can handle this. Wait until it stops, or then I'll try to go ahead, see what's up. Just take your time. Don't rush things. Still waiting
20
for.
seconds goes by.
Seeing this devil, not stepping forward,
Sure.
but I will whistle. Like a, come here.
Okay. You all hear through the darkness.
Alright, she probably couldn't find a switch.
Oh, sorry. I actually wasn't paying attention. Dirt. As you open the door and this devil smiles, you are suddenly aware of a sound stopping, the absence of the sound of those sides. That door opening did disable the mechanism for those.
Oh,
my
no.
fault.
I was
All of them?
wondering. You said that
Oh,
she
okay.
thought it would, and
They stopped, I'm making my way through.
Yeah.
did the
okay.
pendulum
Yeah, I would've
stop or
walked right
just
through.
the knives?
The pendulum stops as well.
Oh,
You
okay.
can see, like, almost against gravity, as it by,
Just like
stops.
freezes there. Damn.
Additionally, you kind of make your way in with all of that.
There's a lag on the time for
Yeah.
it to
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, it's gotta like boot
Gotta
down.
buffer.
It's just
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
momentum
Yeah.
as like
Yeah.
home,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shutting down.
but
Click
then-
OK
yeah,
to
so
shut down.
those
Otherwise, it'll
suddenly
start
go
in 30
Okay,
seconds.
As you hear those blades go, you're going forward.
Stop working.
So yeah, I'm going through.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Brandon, make a strength saving throw, please. Sokka lets go of the door and kind of surges forward.
14.
14, fantastic. All of a sudden, without the assistance and kind of having grown used to the help, the door is a little bit too much. Your knees buckle.
Oh,
Um,
do I
attempt
do
to,
I
like,
see
use
this?
my
This is
reflexes
the end.
to
Do I
like-
realize
strength
that I
saving throw. Yeah, absolutely. You can. It's gonna hurt when you fail.
do I realize
will
that
inevitably
that this
fail, but I
happened
like her.
because I left and I was like, oh shit, I totally forgot that
I'd be
I was
like,
holding
ah!
this up.
You can in a second. Hang on.
Okay.
15.
15. Brenna, for just a second, as your knees go, you hear Eleanor suddenly suck in air and reach forwards. The two of you slam into the ground with this door.
So I can't flash
So
of genius it.
from your perspective, you want to flash of genius it?
I was gonna flash of genius it. To
who are you flash of geniusing?
I was gonna flash of genius Brenna.
Okay. The two of you are yanked into the ground. It was one away, and if you had done it for Eleanor, that
Oh,
would have
oh.
yeah, so close though.
Dang, I should have gone with the higher roll, but I was going
It's
with
okay.
Brenna.
No worries.
No worries.
So
He barely knows me, honestly.
He knows you.
This
like,
door
You've been nice to me,
down into
though.
the ground. It slams onto your arm, Brenna. You were taking 10 points of bludgeoning damage as it rebounds briefly and you yank it out.
I'm sorry.
Eleanor, that gets you mostly in the fingers kind of crunching the side of your offhand. You take the same amount of damage.
I'm sorry.
The door is now closed with Oakfeld and Eleanor on one side, the two of you on the other. The pendulum still frozen.
So we're in the Pendulum Room.
Yes.
I'm just like, oh god, buddy.
I'm sorry. I'm
next
not
time ask.
focusing on.
You're okay.
Let's open the door again
Yeah.
and
Are there
get
handles on
everyone
this
through.
side too?
There are not.
Oh.
So the only handle is over on the side with Oakfeld and Eleanor.
As the door slams, I kind of break out of my daze. That was quite unexpected. Shall we open this door and continue forward?
Yeah. I'll give you the best help I can, but I'm not as strong as the little girl over there.
I believe in you, Magnolia.
Shay, in this darkness, this creature smiles. It stands up, and as it does, it's gaunt. It looks emaciated, as if it hasn't eaten in years. You see this crust in its eyes, and as it blinks, it kind of falls away. You see just blackness in the dark. But it looks at you. How long have I been asleep?
Well, what is the last thing you remember?
War. Delicious war.
I don't believe I can help you unless you have a year.
It turns and kind of takes a step forward. You see the flames at its feet like a little bit brighter, and it steps back, kind of sneering. Not long enough for this magic to have faded, then. Would you want to free me? I could make it worth your while. Oakfeld, what are you doing back in the room?
I'm going to attempt to try to lift the door with Eleanor.
Go ahead and make a athletics check. You can either help or you can allow Oakfeld to make it an advantage.
You're pretty strong?
Pretty strong.
Then I'll give him advantage.
Sure.
16 plus 4. And 5 plus 4.
Okay, so 16
30,
plus four,
20?
20.
Yeah.
You yank and lift this thing. Luckily, having this rope wrapped around, protecting your fingers, and with the strength, you almost aren't able to get it up. You kind of lift it up to your waist, and then Eleanor gets down, gets a shoulder underneath, and like lifts with all of your might, the muscles in your back and legs straining. You're able to pop this up to a position where Oakfeld isn't able to get a shoulder under as well. Oakfeld, you stand. You're like shaking a little bit, but for the moment, it is sturdy.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Like, I'm so sorry.
Aka goes and kind of helps it out.
It's probably too tall for Brenna to be able to help at this point if it's on Oakfeld's shoulders.
You kind of go, yeah, if you go back, you can kind of leap and touch just the tips of it, but yeah, a little high.
So I'm just like, what?
So once it's been stabilized, I'm gonna try to get into the room.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm going to, as I'm lowering the
Like
door,
3, 2, 1. Like, go through and we'll all let go.
yeah, I think that's what we'll probably do. I'm just going to probably like kick one of my burrs underneath it. Hopefully that will not smash in the process, but we'll see.
Sure.
Oh,
All right.
We'll see.
So you guys count 1, 2, 3. You let go. You jump through. Oakfeld, you kind of soccer ball, like roll one of these burrs backwards as you do so. And this burr cracks like halfway. You see little bits of sap out into this kind of sand-covered stone. It doesn't close all the way. It's a couple inches open.
Okay,
For what
we got
that's
a
worth.
handhold.
Get
at
a
least.
hand under, yeah.
Better than nothing.
Good job, everybody.
Okay.
Where's Shay?
She should be at the end of the hall. Be ready for anything. I'm gonna go
How much
ahead.
vision do I have?
Sure. You have vision of the entire room, 15 by 15, and then there's the magical darkness and a hallway beyond that.
So the magical darkness is
If you look at that little map,
This-
that's the
so it
magical
just starts
darkness.
at the beginning.
Magical
Yeah.
darkness.
Okay. I'm just gonna like
There. Not
hold
here.
on to
There.
like Oakfeld's shoulder
Okay.
and be like, all right, we'll both go through, but in case I lose my vision, at least I'll have.
You're probably
something.
like touching my waist because I'm like way higher than you.
Alright, like, I'm just gonna.
Sure. Oakfeld, you step
This
through.
is the marching order here.
Okay. So Akka, you step through first, followed by Brenna, or
Followed by Brenna, followed by
Eleanor and Oakfeld.
Oakfeld and Eleanor.
So then switch those two around.
It was right the first time.
No, Eleanor is shipped today, so we're going to be getting
Okay,
Eleanor
and-
Yay!
next week.
Shay's up there.
Thank you for it. So, you begin to press forwards. Akka, as you pierce through this magical darkness, all of you, one by one, see incredibly dim light at the end of the hallway. A glow from these flickering purple flames. You can see sinisterly cast this black silhouette beyond, this beast-like 7-foot-tall creature, horned. You see almost impossibly, though very little in the dark, a smile. The teeth almost seeming to glow, although they don't shed any light.
Shay's there too. See
Shay is standing maybe 15 feet away. This is a diamond room, 30-foot side, so in the center is this circle.
I would get ready to fight, but I wouldn't fight yet because it seems like Shay's in this sort of standoff with whatever this thing is.
Sure.
Doesn't look like Zeistries, right?
Certainly not. This appears to be a devil of some sort. I mean, make a religion check if you want, or a.
I mean, I think I like have the innate sense that this is not the guy who's all over my face. Religion?
Yeah.
I don't know what my religion check is. It was pretty good base roll though. So let's see. That's religion is a yeah, that's an 18.
Okay.
Okay.
There's a moment you see this devil kind of smile and step forward towards Shay, and the flames kind of flare. And in that bit of light, you see like quills near the chin. You see horns, and in your time with the Dungannon Antiquities Collective, there are certain artifacts that have a fiendish nature. This individual, more towards like the infernal side.
Okay.
You've heard of creatures like this. This is a horned devil.
Okay.
Powerful.
I would probably rush up to Shay and be like, "That's a horn devil."
I'm just gonna hold a hand up as I hear him coming.
Sure. You see one of the eyes flicker over and look at Akka, the other one just stays trained on you.
What terms would you have?
I just want to go home.
And what do you offer?
I will bring you home,
Shay.
wherever that may be. I do not want to be here any longer. Free me.
Why are you here?
The eyes turn and look. You can see the other side of this diamond, there's a door beyond, kind of opening to a taller hallway. There is beyond. Foul creature. Bring me to this plane. Trap me here.
We mean to slay this creature.
You cannot. You will die. Free me, and I will free all of you. And in this moment, even any of you beyond the darkness see these eyes through.
How trustworthy does this
Make an
devil
insight check.
sound? 13.
Hard to tell.
This only makes me more uneasy.
Is he like, is the devil like visibly trapped, like chained in some way, or he's just saying he's trapped and so that's
He's got the
As far as you
fires,
can
right?
tell, you look, you see no shackles, no chains, nothing bolted to the floor around him, just flames and ruins. Although, Brenna, make an Arcana check.
7.
They're magical runes.
How would we even go about freeing you if you can't free yourself?
I cannot say. You can see the eyes, one of them kind of flicker down towards these runes kind of around. You see the flames again as he steps a little bit forward, leaning in, kind of flare up a little bit.
I go, they're magical. The runes.
I would go cautiously get a little closer, I think,
Okay.
and investigate these runes.
With every step that you take, it feels almost like the smile gets wider. You see teeth, and then too many teeth. You draw closer. You free me.
Not yet. I just want to look.
Well, look. I have been here for a long time. I think I can wait.
I'm
He
gonna
sort
kind of
straightens up.
ignore him and investigate these runes to see what's going on, what's holding him here,
Make an Arcana check.
and like why. Yeah, I guess I'll have to ask him why he's here.
He steps in, kind of looking over you as you look. Why are you here, elf?
I have
Why
my
do you
reasons.
walk in the dark? You are not brought like me. You could go. You could live.
I'm ignoring him, and the Arcana was a 17.
Okay. This is weird magic. You do not speak Undercommon?
Nope.
Even the
I speak
base of it-
Infernal.
That's
I
great.
speak Undercommon, but
I know
my
you do.
roll was terrible.
Even the base
I
of
speak
it
Uncommon.
kind of eludes you. You don't really recognize the base symbology of this magic, and so it's hard to access. You get elements of this being a ritual, and definitely one of abjuration. It would make sense that it's keeping him here. You've never seen anything of this nature, though. It's bizarre and works in ways. You kind of get close, and you sniff. Whatever was used to draw these runes smells salty.
And they don't. Do they look like the Durgar symbology that I saw in the Cold Forge? Well, the city around the Cold Forge that is now no longer ruled by the Tholdor because of
You guys?
because we killed them.
Remember the Civil War that we did? The second one.
It wasn't even really a
you-
civil war. It was more just
That time we did a war.
assassination attempts against
A successful assassination attempt.
successful
You,
four successful
looking at
attempts.
these marks and kind of with the rolls that you've had so far, they're similar in that there is something so off to them, something forced, something that makes it look almost as if the individual that created these struggled against it. And in that way, makes them kind of hard to read. You know, they're almost writing in a language that you don't know with a shaky hand.
If Zystri spot him here, it may be beneficial to release him.
I don't know if we can trust this demon.
Devil.
Fun word.
Demons are
Yes, I
foul
know.
creatures.
Demons and devils don't get along. Why did he capture you in the first place?
He likes to own things.
Well, I don't know how to go about freeing you, even if we wanted to.
At this point, I think I'm probably making my way with Eleanor up to the king.
Sure.
Do I notice the runes?
Yeah, certainly. In this glowing flame, it's kind of one of the only things aside from dust and the tile. So yeah.
Magnolia, shine your light to these, and I gesture towards the ruins.
All right. And I can just like, just like laying over there, like they're looking around the room, like what is? Like I can't.
I can speak and read Undercommon, so
Okay. Looking at these runes, there's elements of them that do look like Undercommon to you. Make an Arcana check if you want. They're arcane runes.
a 6.
That tracks.
Yeah.
These are magical runes. They do magic, and it escapes you. They're complicated, and they're not like magic that you've seen in your short experience with magic. Not Fey-based. This isn't something that just is drawn from the essence of the wild. This isn't something that comes from gadgetry, like a lot of what Akka can do. It's different.
Not for nothing, but I don't exactly love standing in this room like this. Unless we have a purpose.
For a moment, the eyes kind of focus on you, and then you see one, and then the other both switch over to Brenna. And this creature smiles.
Hey.
I have not seen one of you since I slept.
Yeah, I'm far from home.
Ah, you know of the salt.
That I do. But I rolled badly, so I don't know how much I.
He turns towards you. You see, he gets a little closer. The fire around him, the features, the shadows get longer and more sinister. And he
In my
says,
home,
"Yeah,
salt has magical properties. But like I said,
So that's what these runes were made with.
Zeiss
I could smell it.
forces your sisters to do this." And he gestures at the runes.
do I believe him?
Make an insight check.
11.
Hard to read. There's something perhaps honest there. I mean, he mentioned something very specific about where
Yeah.
you're from. But there's something about him that's not quite trustworthy.
It's like he's a devil or something.
If that's true, I say to Akka and whoever else is around, if it's true that my people were forced to do this, then, you know, I would want to undo it.
Yes, but the question is how?
Do I know? Like, now that I have some context, do I know?
Make an Arcana check. It's you were not real into the magic. That was a whole
It's true. That's why
underpinning
I
of your
left. But I got a
character.
natural 20 this time.
Ooh.
so-
Nice.
Nice.
You just got like the explosion in your head of
You
like,
say that,
I
you look
remember.
down, and in this moment, Oakfeld, you can hear this kind of Magnolia, move the light, and the light switches over. You watch as the flames dance across these individual crystals of salt, and much like Matt said, suddenly your eyes open. You're brought back to the past. You've seen circles like this before. Powerful magic. This is magic that predates the Third Age. This was brought from the dragons, from the giants, by your people. Originally, the tales say, brought to your people by a deep dragon, a serpent of purple scales. The this was a long.
wonder
time
who
ago.
that could be.
There's so many purple dragons just chilling. Barney, right?
Yeah. The foulest of
Barney.
them all.
Chaotic evil.
Barney.
This magic
The
lost to much of the
Baby
surface.
bop.
These rituals, very, very closely guarded. And so for them to be used in this way, either somebody very powerful in that organization would need to be willingly going along with this, or the compulsion is incredibly strong. You've heard tales of Zeistries, and that would match. You would know destroying elements of this salt while releasing the stored energy within in somewhat chaotic ways, as you are very familiar with, would certainly end the ritual.
So I kind of like, I say to the devil, 1 second. And I kind of huddle the group a few steps away. And I'm like, all right, I think I know how to undo this. But we need to decide if we actually want to be releasing a devil.
I think we use him for more information at the very least. He might know something that could help us defeat Zeistrese.
That's assuming, of course, that he tells the truth.
That is
And
true.
I can help you. But I'll tell you what. Go ahead. Walk forward. And you'll see what help I can be.
Is he like telling me to walk just through the door
Yeah.
on the other side?
Yeah, just keep going.
That sounds like a threat.
I know there's only a
Are
straw.
you saying that out loud?
Yeah.
It is not a threat. I wish to leave. And none of you can free me if you are dead. Walk. I cannot tell you exactly what waits, but I can help if I want to. You can see this large form kind of folds as he sits.
I'm very conflicted. As Akka, I'm very conflicted. And I would just be sitting there kind of like thinking everything over. I want to make more deals.
Helen's just kind of like looking around at everyone and being
Just
like,
kind of like vacant stare like,
oh, for fuck's sake. She just goes over to the door and I'm going to check to make sure it's not trapped.
Sure, make an investigation check.
Okay, that's 17.
You look closely at this door. It doesn't seem trapped, much like the other one. This door seems to be very simple. No lock, no mechanism. You look along the edges of the seams. Nothing seems to link. No magical runes. Seems relatively mundane.
I'm opening the door. And I take my free hand, open the door, and kind of like push it, and then like slide against the wall.
Sure.
So, like,
You peek in, and you can see the door opens and has a little bit of resistance. It pushes against cloth. You stop for a moment, kind of looking up, and it kind of flutters to the side, a tapestry. You see another one on the other side. Maybe a draft pulling it across. Beyond it, you can see wide, 20 by 60 hallway, brightly colored sandstone bricks. The right side has many pots and planters with nothing but dirt and the withered remains of plant life long dead. Mostly. Just dust itself. The right side is recessed into the wall and has 6 overstuffed navy and gold chairs, dusty but unfaded in the dark. There's a long shelf, and as you hold the light out, you can see they seem relatively barren. No books, really. Although, as you lean way in and kind of hold the torch forwards, there is one book. Open. A small etching of stone above it. Do you read Elvish?
no.
There is a quill across the pages.
Alright. Akka, you're an elf, right? Do you read Elvish well?
yes.
Oh. There's a book.
I look back at this devil. He's just like chilling now because he's like, I don't care what you decide, but like, do it or not. All right, I'm gonna go towards the door and check out what Eleanor is trying to show me.
Okay. You kind of lean in, and with your dark vision, you see all of that, but you also see this plaque. Elvish, but strange and forced in nature. It reads, "There is no shame in help." The word help all in capital letters. And you see almost a scratch from the comma as if resistance. You may ask one question. Last part of the engraving.
This help is like a secret message. The person who wrote this was asking for help themselves,
Make
kind
an
of
insight check.
situation. 24.
You see that like scratch in the comma as if somebody was trying to resist etching this. Certainly seems like a call for help.
All of this is just making me more and more unhappy to be here.
This place sucks.
I'm gonna walk forward a little bit to that room.
Okay.
And at the doorway, do I see any of the potted plants?
Yeah, you can see off to the on the right. Sorry, on the left is a pot of plants. On the right is this little recess thing with the doors. On the left, you see about 6 kind of pots and planters in various states of disrepair. There's like dirt falling out, little withered remains of plants, long dead.
I'm gonna pick up some of the dirt in one of them.
Sure.
I'm going to lift it in the air and drop it slowly and whisper to the plants, "How is my honor?"
Okay. You whisper this to the plants. These long dead plants. It's pretty dope, dude. You hold the dust out, and as you let it go through your fingers, it's almost like sand, so dry and fine. It sat here for a long time. That is your response.
I think I would go back to the devil, having seen this book.
Okay.
Got some questions for this motherfucker.
Sure.
Go up to him and be like, "Devil, do you have a name?"
The eyes open. He looks up from his seated position. Of course I have a name.
Are you going to offer it freely?
Of course not. How do you think I arrived here?
What can you tell us about Zeistries? Why did he want you here other than just because he likes to own things?
Everything Zeistries does has 2 purposes at least. I and it. He gestures beyond at the hallway that you see. We are demonstrations of his power.
You mean the book?
No.
What else do you know about that's further ahead?
You like name? Aracastis.
Does that mean anything to me?
Make a history check at disadvantage.
Arcastis?
Yeah.
7.
That word to you, foreign on your lips as you kind of repeat it again and again. You haven't heard of it. Something about the language, exotic. Further away than Everest, than Mythalstream, further than any place that you can think of. You've heard of this language before in some context in your work, but it eludes you.
Is Arcastris a devil like yourself?
Not nearly so powerful.
But also captured by Zeistries.
We're all captured by Zeistries. You, me, and him.
If we were to free you, how would you be able to help us?
I'll save you from the trap that you are walking into.
Lead us to another trap?
If you would like to follow. But I intend to go home. It has been too long.
Are you familiar with Azra?
One eye. The whole head turns. Of course.
Zeistries works to free her. If we let them, it will happen.
You can see almost pointedly you say it's quiet at this.
Is this something that you wish for?
I'm like, eyes are locked on this. I'm
Make an
looking for
insight
any
check.
reactions
Yeah, make an
when
insight
he's talking to Shay.
He smiles. This
Perhaps not yet.
The rot needs a host. A living host. We manage the dead souls.
It was a 16.
Hard to read.
I'll like move away a little bit.
We're here.
Everybody kind of huddles in.
I don't know what to do.
Freeing the devil would piss Zeistries off. That's good.
But
The North is only as strong as the one who can keep it. If he is here, he's probably not that strong.
I just don't want us to free this thing and have more problems to deal with. I don't trust this devil.
Aren't there famous
Not to
sayings
mention-
of making deals with devils?
Yeah. Not very much inclined to do so for reasons.
Regardless, we should make a decision.
Feels like we're more and more just walking towards our deaths.
Again, if you have another suggestion, open to it.
I'm gonna turn away and start walking away towards the door.
Sure.
Yeah, I can't do it. Can't free this devil.
Brenna will follow.
Okay.
Because I think Brenna was kind of like waiting to see how Akka was gonna
Sure.
was gonna play it. I don't think Brenna really cares either way.
Following Aga.
Oakfell,
I'll follow.
as all of you walk away, you hear this. You will be back. The eyes close. You continue to walk into this hallway. You continue forward through towards the end.
Towards the bookend, right?
So
Or
you
the
see
book's
on
like
the
in
left-hand
on a.
side, there are these pots, dead plants. On the right-hand side, you see a single book on a long shelf. And then beyond, at the end of this hallway, right at the end of where your dark vision kind of begins, you see a much larger room opening up
Okay. And the book. Oh no, sorry. The plaque is
above the book.
above the book. Okay. I would carefully go and see what this book is. Not touching it.
I'm gonna examine it.
Never touching.
Okay.
Never.
So
Touching.
okay, yeah, no worries. Go ahead and make an investigation check. For you, you're looking at the book. What are you
Yes.
looking for?
Does it have like a title on the binding or any like significant markings or anything that would tell me what type of book it is? Or
So you have to pick up the quill to move that and lift the book up. And as you touch
not
the quill,
touching it,
Okay. fair enough.
mind moving it.
You move the quill with your mind. And as your mind touches the quill, there is a magical quality to it for sure. But you set that aside, you turn the book, the binding snaps a little bit in the cover. No title. Handbound, handmade.
Does it seem similar to Heinrich's book that I've seen? In like
Make a
terms of the
straight
magical
intelligence check.
qualities of this. Where's yeah. 22.
22. There are certainly similarities. The plainness of it. This kind of mundane brown binding that contains something that feels magical. There are certainly similarities, and you would imagine maybe this does connect to something else. Maybe someone else.
And above it says one question, the help. I'm being forced to do this.
That's what it's yes.
Essentially.
But when you look and you kind of ask Oakfeld to repeat it, it says there is no shame in help. All capital letters. Oh no, you can read this.
I can read it in
Yeah.
Elvish.
There is no shame in help. You may ask one question.
I rolled a natural 20 in the investigation for the tapestry.
Nice. I'm pondering this book
A
while
continuous
whatever
20.
happens with the natural
Tapestry.
20 happens.
An exotic material, very exotic. The material here, little bits of it, something called glamour weave, hard to find in Dominion. Hails from an organic source far across the ocean. If you were to sail northeast from Dominion, the furthest location away from pretty much any part of the world is the Cockpit Island. It's a pair of islands that mostly desert. If you were to think kind of like Egyptian based, very much. These tapestries stemming from there. And even as you kind of touch them, you can see and kind of manipulate them. When you first look at them, this sort of image, almost feline in ways, human in others. And as you turn them, the image looks pained.
I would like to do a survival or some kind of investigation on these dead plants to see if I can just identify which species
Make a
they
nature
are.
check, yeah.
2 plus I have 5 for nature.
It's 7.
Yep.
These were certainly plants, but as you go to lift one, it crumbles. These are ancient, desiccated things. But a plant.
The pots across on the other side of the room,
Mhm.
anything significant about those?
You look as Oakfeld kind of crumbles a plant in one. They look like probably decoration at one point.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like of note besides that.
With your last check, nothing seems to be, no.
These tapestries are glamour weave of all things.
Have I
Seem
heard of
always
glamour weave?
pained.
You had seen glamour weave utilized in Morwyn's armor, glamored leather armor, yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought. That's not from here.
No, it is not. I'm mostly concerned about the amount of opulence here. Everything seems rather like a gilded lily, does it not?
Tapestries likes to own things.
Showing off.
Doesn't feel out of place for someone as egotistical as a lich, since, you know, kind of all about themselves. This book is enchanted. I think a former companion of ours had something that may have functioned similarly, but writing in this may give us answers. I'm reluctant to do so because it looks like whoever is presumably answering the questions was forced to do so under duress, similar to the devil. The veracity of their statements up to interpretation.
I have a dumb question.
There's no such thing as a dumb question, Eleanor. We're in a tomb
Only dumb
facing
people.
I am not well versed in magic, but can you trap something in a tapestry?
Can you trap something in a tapestry?
Make an Arcana check. Just thinking about some of the things that you've heard of.
Ooh! Natural 1, still a 16.
Still a 16. Tapestry might be thin, but you've heard of objects and things being trapped in other things. It's definitely doable. And you've even, Heinrich had a bag where you could kind of put huge things inside of a very small thing. So, yeah, many things could possibly happen.
Theoretically, yes.
Well, we have a book under duress. The tapestry seems pained.
And the devil.
We have a trapped devil in the other room.
I guess I'd look at the tapestry because I hadn't noticed it having any sort of pained feeling or
I just
anything.
kind of like manipulate it to kind of like show like the shift in image.
You see like a human face, like sort of feline features, other that are kind of snake-like in ways. But as it shifts, it goes from a very serene face to one in a lot of pain.
like one of those holographic cards where it's like 2 images, and when you like move it, yeah, lithograph or whatever.
Or you can like run your nails on it and mix it.
Yeah.
I love those.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Literally just for that reason.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So good.
Okay.
One of
Anyways,
those
yeah,
satisfying.
similar to that, but less. Cheap.
But like on a nice tapestry.
Yeah.
More of a magical quality than a.
Yeah, it glimmers a little bit.
Yeah.
This is starting to feel like a
Trap?
a weird zoo. No, like I mean, yes, a trap, but this is he's like
Keeping
got
things
various
as pets,
things captured. Yeah, like pets.
curios.
Exactly.
More like trophies.
Do I recognize a creature in the tapestry depiction at all? Or is
Nature check.
it nature? Oh.
It's like a feline
I'm
reptilian.
rolling, okay, I'm rolling a
humanoid.
different die. This
Talon
is
was saying
huge.
that there's some pretty good rolls tonight.
Yeah, I just rolled another natural 20.
Oh,
And
wow.
that doesn't. I'm gonna like retire that dice because now I'm worried. It's not
Yeah,
weighted
it's been all
correctly.
up,
Yeah.
Building up all the bad jujus.
I'm just like, okay. Yeah, so nature I think is just a straight check.
With a
Yeah.
natural 20, no problem. You're from a family that trades. You've heard tales at your family's dinner table of dignitaries and wealthy merchants talking about sailing beyond even the expanse, even beyond the boiling ocean, past the short sea, through the shimmering water, and to this place called the Cockpit Islands. Dual islands, wild, many of them kind of full of remnants of old civilizations, much older than Dominion. Dominion being kind of a younger continent. There, in the Second Age, there were creatures known as Sphinxes, and this sure looks like one.
So while I think about this, I just kind of look at it and like shift it and think. Well, I say aloud. You don't think they're trapped in here? Right?
Almost certainly.
Sphinx.
Have I heard of sphinxes?
Probably not. Yeah, not even like a myth creature. That's like something kind of unexplored here.
Like finding a new species of dinosaur.
Yeah. I thought they were just overblown stories.
You humanoids and your material obsessions to hold something alive is something completely different.
In the back of your mind, Oakfell, that pressure never subsided. You hear the voice of Melora. You must free nature. If there is a trapped creature in pain, Oakfeld, work to restore your honor. Walk forward. Walk.
Would Eleanor make a Sphinx riddle connection, or is that only in our world?
With a natural 20, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
There's definitely a riddling quality to the Sphinx, and like the tales. You saw like a merchant who came through who had like a really cool kind of ewer that had this Sphinx on the side, and he told this tale. These are creatures that were supposed to have a magic that predates the weave and is based in some way on riddles and the potential that they hold.
Okay. Well, the book is a hidden message. The Sphinxes were known for riddles. Everything here is clearly ancient, and I hate all of this. This is certainly some sort of terrible trap.
Is there another way out of this room?
Make a perception check.
28.
28. You look around and no, very perceptively, you realize the tunnels, the rooms have been getting smaller, narrower. The ceiling here a little taller, but still just a hallway ultimately. Almost like a funnel. Beyond, you look and you can see the hallway does open up to become a larger space beyond.
That doesn't look like there's any point of egress from there, or is it just...
With that check and really only using the dark vision mask, beyond, you see elements of like a stone column of some kind. It kind of disappears at an angle. You would need to get closer and kind of look around the edge of the wall to see the room. It kind of opens up to the left beyond.
Can I see any further? Because I have 120-foot dark vision. Just like if I follow her gaze down, can I see anything?
You can. You see draped on the far wall, almost 120 feet away, large chains. Larger than chains that you've ever seen before. And you've seen some old, rusted, unused for centuries, but designed to use for stone giants. These are bigger. They're anchored into the wall. You see cracks around the stone as if something at some point a long time ago struggled. You see cobwebs over those. A long time ago.
So there's nothing in the chains right now.
The chain kind of drapes and then disappears, and the wall is right here. So you really do need to approach to kind of see.
I say to the group, I think something's chained up in the next room.
Arcaris? Is that the name that he gave me?
Arcastus.
Arcastus. It's probably this Arcastus.
But again, Oakville, you hear creatures should not be chained.
I'm gonna just mutter to myself, creatures must not be chained.
I'm gonna go over to the book.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a closer look at the quill before I start writing it. Still using my telepathy to hold it. I don't want to touch it.
Okay,
But
sure. You take a look at it, and using your Arcana check before, it seems linked to the book.
okay.
This quill needs to be used with this book to work.
Okay. I don't want to blow my one question.
Should we peek around the corner? Might give us more context. We don't even know what we're asking for.
Well, I also don't trust whatever the answer would be, so it needs to be something that whatever answer would necessarily want to be truthful. I'm gonna ask a question, and we'll see how that goes.
We get one question.
One
Per
question
person.
each?
Just so, okay.
I'm gonna write in the book, are you one of the creatures trapped by Zystris? With my
Sure.
telepathy hand.
You see the quill, kind of like unnerving the precision of the movement that's required for this, but you do it no problem. That ink fades. But unlike Heinrich's, it doesn't seem to kind of shimmer and sink into the page. It's almost like it falls. Like there's something beneath it, and it falls away and away and away. And then, almost at once, reappearing, emerging in, you speak primarily Elvish, right? Or, you would have grown.
I speak Common, Draconic, Dwarvish,
So in
Elvish,
Common.
Infernal, no longer
That's
speak
true,
Giant.
yeah. So in common, then, you would see just the simple word no.
Well, I don't want to ask a second question.
The quill down onto the book. The word
It
fades.
says, you may ask one question, right? Okay, so whatever's in the book wasn't captured by Zystris at the very least.
Or says it's not.
Says it's not, but if it was, then I would have thought that this help sign.
I'm gonna glance over the tapestry again. Does it look the same?
Kind of glance over, make a perception check.
Different die.
Still good.
Yes, it's a total of 24.
Still good.
24. You kind of squint, now kind of a little further down the hall, you turn and you look. And as you do, you can almost hear from the other room this tapestry seems the same.
Malmar at this point is gonna just freehand on the hilt of her sword.
Yeah.
Properly freaked out. It's like, alright. Are we looking at the thing in the chains?
I think I can sneak down there. I'm really good at sneaking in the Underdark. So, and I have really good dark vision.
We should stick together at this point. I think anything that we come against now is... We don't want to take anything alone.
I was just gonna do a little reconnaissance, just a little peek. Not even that, you think?
So, if you do it, I'll keep myself in range so I can call the sword and back you up if you need it.
I mean, we can all go together. Wouldn't it be nice to know what we're getting into?
Yes. Yes, it would. And this light makes me,
I'm
unfortunately,
gonna look over at Shade and be like,
the least sneaky
what do you
I've
think?
ever been.
If Brenna doesn't, then I will.
I silently ask that with my eyes. I kind of look and I'm like,
Hearing that is enough for me, and without another word, I start creeping down the
Make
hallway.
a stealth check, yeah.
I get
be
advantage.
careful. Just be careful.
Yes, I'll be careful. Thank you, Mom. Oh, no. 14.
So you watch as Brenna, this gnome from the Underdark, slinks into the shadows. And Akka, you're like, be careful. And suddenly the shape detaches a little bit, bristling, like, be careful, Mom. And she just kind of stomps down the hallway, trying to stay hidden, but like not doing a great job. You kind of make it to the end of the hallway and just look around the corner. You see in the center of the room a miniature pyramid. Miniature in that it's only about 40 feet tall, rising up to the ceiling in this room. Carved out of the front, so it almost looks in the front like a throne. Draped across that, you see a massive stone sphinx. Its arms draped over the edge of the throne, kind of crossing like a cat's. Its tail extends down and seems to connect, like a support perhaps, to the floor. The floor here, much heavier sand across the gray stone.
Do I see? Is there anything else special that do I see any doors, exits? I'm just trying to scope it out.
You really look, and for you with your dark vision, seeing across this room 100 feet, there is a door beyond.
Okay.
There is no handles in this door.
I creep back to the group
Okay.
and report what I saw.
You guys all watch Brenna just kind of, and then come back.
What did you see?
Do I know what a Sphinx is, or do I?
Eleanor kind of communicated what it
Okay.
is, so yeah. I mean, and you looked at the image on the tapestry.
Yeah.
You know, similar, certainly.
I go, that's the Sphinx. It's in there, and it's chained up. And stone, I think. I think it saw it was stone.
As she says that, I'm going to mutter to myself, chains must be broken.
So Eleanor at this point is a little bit too curious about seeing an actual Sphinx.
Yeah.
So she's gonna try to sneakily make her way down, because if it's alive, dope,
Yeah.
but also dangerous.
You creep down, the fire kind of keeping you warm, and certainly shedding light in the hallway. As you go forward, you see shadows cast beyond this pyramid that blank out the door, and the chains glisten, though they do kind of have rust and corrosion on them. You see the same thing, massive sphinx, stone, seems to be a statue, but incredibly lifelike, draped across this pyramid carved out into a throne.
Oh wow. A Sphinx. And I just kind of turn around and be like, it appears to be a statue?
I'm just gonna head back
Statues
down because
typically aren't chained.
Yeah.
I think I would probably start to move forward at this point.
Okay.
Staying behind Akka.
Sure. Oakfeld?
I'm going to move forward, yep.
The rest of you catch up. You see the same thing, now all in this room. Some of you seeing a little less far. It's 100 feet across, but fairly dark.
Do I see any other entrances, exits, or another path through, where I am, at the very least? in this room?
You take a look around. Make a perception check. You saw Shay looking and she hadn't said anything. But
It's 15.
what is your dark vision range?
I believe it's 90 feet, 60 feet.
60 feet. Nothing that you can see.
Well, now I feel bad because I should have been like, also, there's a door over there.
I'm gonna cautiously move in, but definitely like Sphinx is here.
Okay.
Kind of keep it a wide berth.
You step around, kind of keeping it as far away from you as possible, skirting the edges. No problem. As you make your way in, you get 30 feet in, 40 feet. You see the wall appear on the other end, and there is a door. No handle, no lock.
I would go and check, is there any sort of like magical more like magic runes or anything on the door that seem like some sort of answer to how that might be opened?
The perception check you used before, can't see any runes. The door seems relatively mundane.
But there's no handle or anything?
No.
Okay.
Is the door like wooden, stone? Does it look like just a regular door
Metal,
except no
metal.
handle? Oh,
Yeah,
metal,
thick
right.
Metal door. Yeah.
Similar to the one before, but not the
Yes.
pull-up one?
Very, very similar.
Like
to that.
the other side of it?
Yeah.
That didn't have...
Yep.
Got it.
Looks like we have a riddle on our hands.
How to open this door?
We got a book asking for help. We have a trapped devil. We have a chained sphinx. I'm sensing a theme.
Has the Sphinx moved or anything? Or
Not a tick.
okay.
Statue still.
I think I would look at the door, see that it's pretty much like it looks like the other side of the door that we propped open.
Yep.
Which means presumably that the things that are in both of these sides now are meant to be kept in and entered from the two external sides.
Perhaps.
So keeping all of that in mind, I think I would probably fly up and try to get a closer look to see, like, is this thing actually a statue? Very cautiously, because I don't think
Sure.
it's a statue.
Okay.
But, like, is there anything about the pyramid and the Sphinx that might give us an understanding of why the door is the way
Make
it
an
is?
investigation check, because you float up a little bit and kind of around.
Ooh. Investigation, dirty 20.
You don't see anything, and this certainly looks like a statue. From your standpoint, where the tail meets the ground, it's almost like the same stone. But as you get closer, kind of flying near the face, you look down at the base. There is a dust-covered element of the plaque. Get a little bit lower, and as your cape flutters, the dust goes away, and you can see again the word Aracostas.
So this probably is Aracostas.
You say that out loud?
Kind of like under my breath, but yeah, I'd probably be like, so this is Aracostas.
Oh, I don't think I would hear it then if he's far away.
But as you do say that under your breath, suddenly you see this islet, massive, suddenly shift slightly. The dust down.
Back up a bit.
On the far wall, this chain kind of moves for the first time in years. And you see the statue kind of come to life in segments. It stretches, the eyes open, and you see almost a pained expression. It looks around at all of you, these huge glowing white
Flying like,
I'm shocked.
fuck.
riddles I have for you. Please answer fast. To sleep is to dream, and to dream is to last. But ignore not the words I speak unto you, for within every meaning there exists at least two. It stretches again, it stands up straight. I thrust iron through wood, and I pull with my tail. In order to build, I must impale. What am I? Kind of sits again. And because it is 10 o'clock, this is where we're going to take our break. And it gives you guys a little extra time
Yep.
to think.
You have that written down?
I can write it
I
down.
thrust
for you guys.
iron through.
So, it is 10:03. Thank you for hanging out with us through this session of Adventures in Alberon. We'll be back in about 10 minutes, right at 10:15. See you then.
Awesome.
back. Thank you for sticking with us through the break. This is Adventures in Alberon, session 102. If you're just joining us, this group made their way through what is called the Death Knot Gauntlet, a series of traps designed to kind of cause damage as you progress through. Although, with the speed of Shay, excuse me, no real problem. You sprinted to the end, open the door, stopping the swinging glaives, the massive pummeling pendulum, and allowing everybody else to catch up. At the end of this tunnel, there was a devil who attempted to convince you to release him in return for some aid. You decided that you didn't trust him and moved on, even as he sat and laughed that you would be back. You moved beyond to a long hallway with a book that allowed you to ask one question. The question that you asked was, are you one of those creatures? No. Immediately you move beyond to a room with a Sphinx waking from a statue-like slumber.
So it's not the
And as it
Sphinx.
asked its riddle, you wished that perhaps you still had that question in your hands.
Yeah.
However, as it stretches open, you heard it say the first. I thrust iron through wood, and I pull with my tail. In order to build, I must impale. What am I?
You, sir, are a hammer.
You see
You
Eleanor like
see-
vibrating with excitement. This whole thing, just like,
The back half of the statue kind of hardens slightly.
Like, all right.
I'm in front of the face.
Oh, there's another.
And behind the sheath. I'm inside the ether and mixed up in breath. Whoops.
Breathe.
Mixed up when you breathe. Sorry.
Mixed up in breathe.
I have the worst font. Ari remarked about it yesterday, and I realized like I can't read my own font.
Was it like-
E.B. German Italian italics?
Comic
Anyway,
Sans.
Mixed up
sorry.
in the.
Can we hear it again,
Wingdings?
please?
Yes, absolutely. I'm in front of the face and behind the sheath. I'm inside ether and mixed up when you breathe. What am I?
In front of the face, behind the sheath,
Inside ether
inside ether.
and mixed up when you breathe.
Was it faith or face?
Face. I'm in front of the face.
the face.
TH.
Yes. T-H-E.
Oh.
Is the answer.
What are you saying?
TH. The
That's right.
letters TH, right?
Yeah, oh,
In
yeah.
front of the face, behind the sheath. What about the ether?
I'm inside.
Inside the ether
and
and
mixed up
when you breathe.
So is it?
I think we figured this out when we were talking about side.
What?
It's
No.
gonna be something. It's gonna be that thing, like we said.
It's gonna be another riddle. I think it's.
I'm on board.
Mm.
I'm impressed, actually.
Just the letters T-H.
No, it's gonna be the.
I think so. The.
I think so.
Oh, it might be
Yeah,
the.
the.
And then it's gonna be hammer the, and then I think something.
But she. Oh yeah.
But
Yeah,
wait,
The.
It's the.
Behind.
Yeah, behind the
Behind
sheath.
the sheath. How do you spell sheath?
she doesn't have an E.
It, yeah, it doesn't have an E at the end.
Oh,
That's the thing.
Oh.
But breathe does.
But breathe does, but it's not mixed up.
So,
You see elements of the stone hardening behind.
TH.
You see the stone harden and the chains kind of pull into the wall and go taut. This figure looks in pain. One more chance. Through me may see the world. I reign for the sorrow you might see. Protected by strands of silk that curl, that which blinds me helps me see. What am I? Sits inside.
Akka, having messed up the second one in his hubris, is now dejected.
Can we please hear it again?
Yeah. I'll just read it out to you. Through me, you may see the world. I reign for the sorrow you might see, protected by strands of silk that curl. That which blinds me helps me see. What am I?
Eyes?
Eyes? I think eyes. I think it's eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your eyes.
Akka, who's normally like very serious, kind of dead quiet. Just your eyes. I love that. You can see suddenly the stone begin to harden, the chains draw slack. As this thing begins to calcify back, it seems to almost relax. You see relief in the face. And even as it turns back to stone, you hear, "You have answered, and now may pass. But these treasured breaths may be your last." You can see the neck kind of harden. "He who once rested here waits up ahead, and though you may kill him, he'll never be dead. The eye, the ghoul, the arm, the salt. Break these relics, and Zystris may fall." And as he says fall, locked in stone.
Shit. I'm the arm.
I think we might have to free that
Far
devil.
in the hallway, you see the door open. Oakfeld behind the mind, you hear this whisper. "Oakfeld, you are so close."
Certainly more than we were looking for coming in.
Elders just go over and like gently like touch the statue and kind of like disbelief. Go, it was real.
As you touch it, it's stone but warm.
She kind of just whispers like,
Akka just kind of floats down to the ground and he's just...
So what was it? The
eye.
salt, the eye,
The hammer,
the
the
salt.
salt, the arm, the devil.
The eye, the ghoul, the arm, the salt. Break these relics, and Zystris may fall.
so, arm. Supposedly.
Mhm.
Salt, perhaps, behind us.
Might be the, yeah.
The eye and the ghoul.
I am the Sphinx, maybe?
Does this ring anything for you two?
Akka and
it
Shay,
an
make a
item?
flat intelligence check.
Is this Flash of Geniusable?
It's a check. So it's an ability check. Yeah?
That is an 18.
Okay. For both of you, as soon as you hear the word ghoul, you remember back in Dungannon, inside a small pawn shop. You had tracked members of the Midnight Assembly and found that they had attempted, or were setting to attempt, to steal something from within. A gargoyle. A silver gargoyle. And to look upon it was horrifying.
I don't think I was there. I
You
don't
were.
think you told it.
You were.
We were
Oh,
there.
in the
that
pond?
was in the candy factory, right?
It was right before. It was, you either went there before or after the
Wasn't that just Heinrich and you?
No.
It was all there.
Okay.
But Heinrich has it.
You remember fighting in the candy dungeon?
Yeah, I remember
Candy
fighting in the
dungeon.
candy dungeon, but wasn't there like a little side?
You know, you guys all
The
fought,
shop.
remember? I have the
Right,
shop
but there was
still
the
back there.
shop on the other side that wasn't the candy factory.
Correct. That's the shop we're talking about.
Okay. We showed up late, but we did get there.
Yes. You guys had to run to catch up during
Yes,
the combat.
yes, yes, yes. Okay. Now it's all coming together. The
And so
eye,
that,
the
certainly,
ghoul,
the ghoul.
the arm, the salt.
That being said, Akka, you being the arm, recognize that there is significant power to both your arm and that ghoul. Even looking at it was horrifying and chilling, and you felt that it could look back at you. There are elements of that to your arm. You definitely have reacted to it in the past. The salt behind you, not so much.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it.
Does, given my history coming from a place where like magic salt is life, does anything trigger for me, like thinking about like some sort of really intense magical salt item?
The devil in the last room had mentioned that he hadn't seen one like you in a little bit, and that perhaps somebody of that kind of ilk was compelled against their will to seal the devil in. This creature, Zeistries, was known by your people to be this evil, malevolent force beneath the ground. He's captured and enslaved hundreds of people across the ages, and if he had taken people from yours, perhaps one of his phylacteries manufactured through the same kind of magic.
Have I, in my reading and looking for everything that I possibly can about the whole thing of my arm, have I heard anything that would make me think the eye or the salt?
Make a history check.
18?
With an 18, unfortunately, no. You would recognize, though, it's not as if there has been documentation on that ghoul or your arm.
Yeah.
So you would imagine these items also similarly either lost to history or more likely hidden. Or perhaps more frequently or more recently created.
What happened with that ghoul?
Ryan Castle.
Heinrich doesn't have it.
Then I don't know.
Does Morwen have it?
Norman doesn't have it.
Did Morwen throw it over the side of Yorn?
Akka, for a moment, similar to this kind of flashbulb moment that Eleanor had, you remember back to the Dungannon Antiquities Collective, as you had gone in to talk to Mr. Gift, who had Glub organizing books. I'd find a use for him, Mr. Gift said. And as you looked at Glub, alphabetizing, though he cannot read, so really just grabbing
Does
books.
Gunter have it?
You'd remember somewhere on one of those shelves, chained, is the Zeistries' grotesque.
All right, we did do that. Okay.
Shay wasn't there for that.
So luckily it's
Yeah.
not around anybody prone
Right.
to accidents.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Great. Didn't give it to. Oh my god. Okay.
So we're missing 2 artifacts.
We have.
Well, we have one currently
The
in
ghoul.
our possession. Here.
And then a second one, you know where it is?
Yes.
Okay.
Supposedly.
So then being here is what? Folly? What can we do here if we cannot?
We can seek out the Green Mage. Isn't that why we're here?
No.
Yes. You hear in the back of your mind.
He can be killed, the Sphinx did say. Just not forever.
I mean, we know more now than we did before, right? If there's these 4 really powerful items, at least we have a hint to the other 2 that we don't know about.
Facing him now is exactly what he wants.
Because he knows that death is not permanent.
It doesn't matter if we kill him now, he'll be back.
Would it buy time? Would it? Yes, we're on a tight clock, right?
We are.
Time is invaluable.
So
Question of how
either
quickly he
we press on into what is almost certain doom to buy some time.
I hate to say it, but should we ask that devil for help?
Your organization, Akka, if we told them this, do you think they could help us find the other two?
Oh, can't you communicate to them over long distances? Could you, I don't know, check in?
I'm gonna like pull out the sending stone
Sure.
that I have to Mr. Gift, and I'm going to
Are you gonna page him?
Put the stone down. You dial the runes.
hold
There's
the
a moment.
rock up to my ear.
Yeah, you're talking to the
Just
rock.
pick up a random rock on the ground and
Have
like,
Eleanor ever seen someone use a sending stone before?
Since they've used them for most of the campaign, yes, they have. They just have trouble with them.
oh no,
No, have
Eleanor.
Eleanor seen it?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
Okay.
you've seen them. There are trade ships that definitely utilize them, and especially in trading fleets. They're not terribly rare by rare item standards.
Would you know whether or not this is a normal way of using a sending stone, or is this a weird way? Of
Oh, I'm
using
not
a
actually.
sending
Yeah,
stone?
he's not-
Okay.
I'm like, take it out and just kind of
I
like
don't
hold
know.
it.
You
I
feel
don't
the stone
know.
pulse. And then
You're just
suddenly
yes-anding
from the
at
other
this
end,
point.
You just hear, "Hello, Akka."
Mr. Gift, do you know anything about the eye, the salt? What those could mean? We have, you still have the grotesque, right?
Oh yes,
Okay, keep that very, very safe.
as we agreed upon.
Yes.
It is in the vaults.
We have more information right now, but we are very much in a dangerous place.
Where would you
Zystris
lead?
can only be destroyed fully if we get rid of the eye, the ghoul, the arm, and the salt.
Phylacteries.
Yes.
I'll look and see what we can find.
Okay. We are literally in the tomb right now,
Of Zystris.
on the way. Been
Akka,
held
I will
up.
leave.
We'll probably be getting back soon.
Good. I'll see what I can find, and I'll call you if I find anything. This grotesque. Is there any precautions we should take about it?
Not that I know of. All I know is that it's one of the... It was a riddle. It's...
Listen, Akka, if you're in danger, just come back, and we'll talk then.
Okay. We'll be back as soon as we can. I'm gonna put it away.
Okay.
Okay.
We at least have something to go on, and that was the purpose of this mission.
By the time we get back, Mr. Gift might have some information, and then
The door that opened
Yeah.
was the one in front, not the one behind.
Correct.
Do we see anything through there from where, like, if I go walk towards it and just kind of look down?
You see a hallway, maybe 10 feet wide, extending down. In the darkness, hard to tell. Were it not for the smell. You smell decay. You smell rot. You smell old, spoiled meat. You don't hear flies, which is odd. Far away, you hear the sound of madness as it graces upon your mind. The inside of your mind, not your ears, whispers. You can't hear what the words say.
I'm backing up very, very, like, hastily, getting away from that doorway. And
Oakfeld, you see Akka take a step back. And in that moment, you hear, Oakfeld, he is afraid to restore his honor. Bring him to me. Let me help you both.
We need to go forward. All of us. We cannot go back.
At this time, Oakfield, it would be not in our best interest to continue.
We can't go. We have to go back. We have to go to Dungannon and figure out the other two.
We have a plan now. So the next step of the plan is go back to Dungannon, right?
What if the lady of all is trapped? She needs us.
And we will come for her. But we need to be smart about it.
Like leaving right now, and I'm gonna start walking away
Oakfeld.
back towards
In
the
the
exit.
back of your mind, what was the flower that you oh no, when you looked at Shay, there was no flower, right?
There's no flower. I couldn't read it.
In the back of your mind, you hear, this one has no flower. Bring her. She does not understand. None of them understand like you do, Oakfeld. Show them honor.
He leaves, but you all will stay with me. We cannot be honorable like some.
Do I hear this?
Yeah.
I think we're all leaving.
What? Yeah, we're going.
Oakfield, I don't know what you think is down there, but I don't believe it's what
Do you
you're
even
looking for.
realize what we're down here for?
Oakfeld, you hear,
Yeah.
turn to the monk. Tell her the lotus blossoms on the eightfold path. You hear in your mind, turn to the monk. Tell her the lotus blossoms on the eightfold path.
The lotus blossoms on the eightfold path.
Do I hear it?
You do?
Keep walking.
Okay.
I'm like waiting for Shay to come up to me, and then we're walking out together. I'm out of here.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
try
say
to
that,
like.
but I'm out of here.
I'm gonna try to like take Oakfeld's hand because in the past I've been able to get him to just kind of like follow me and come with me, even if he seems a little off. So I'm gonna kind of just take his hand and be like, "We'll be back, don't worry." And I try to lead him out toward where Aka is.
Okay. Oakfeld, in the back of your mind. So you feel this,
Mhm.
but in a way you feel far away. In this moment, the words come back to you. Leave now, Oakfeld, and stay in this form forever. You will never feel the wind amongst your branches. You will never hear the voices of the trees. You turn your back now, and you turn your back on all of us. Walk, walk, walk.
To swear a faithful duty is an honor bound even through punishment. And I'm gonna take a step forward.
You watch as Oakfeld steps forward.
I don't think I see it because I'm walking away.
I'm gonna literally try to tug him in the other direction.
Sure. You tug on Oakfeld. If you want to resist that, make an athletics check. And you can make a competing athletics check to try to stop him.
22.
Ew.
Oakfeld, you're tall.
Get in front, like
I'm
Yeah.
so
No.
small though.
Your tall form takes a step
No.
forward. You plant your foot, and as you go to lift, it doesn't move. And you turn, and you are rooted to the ground by Brenna, this tiny little gnome. But the arms are firm. And for a moment, that almost yanks you back.
Young Edelweiss, what is the meaning of this?
We need to stay together. I know firsthand that when groups don't stay together, bad things happen. Come with us, and I promise we'll return.
Ophel, please listen to her. We can't just walk into death. That's all that waits for us there.
Step forward. Trust your eyes. Witness. Walk. Walk.
You swear a solemn oath to me?
Yes. Yes, I do.
What are you doing, Oakville?
Oaths are only as strong as those who can keep them. I'm going to take a step forward.
Oh, god damn. How far away are we at this point?
If you're just walking, probably about 20 feet.
Okay.
25 feet.
Probably like once I got to the door, noticing that no one else has moved besides Shay and myself, probably would turn around. I don't want to go right past this devil without, I feel like we need to go as like
Told
a
you
group
so.
to just like, everyone just like look away as we walk by.
You turn and you can see Oakfeld one step forward, one leg kind of dragging back, and Brenna kind of shaking her head, holding on.
What now?
It's not going so well, Akka. Shay.
Do not speak to this Akka. He does not understand.
I understand way more than you right now.
Akka,
You
I
don't
know
even
if
know.
that'll help.
Every breath you exhale is from every inhale my people bring to yours.
I apologized to your people already. We've been through this. This is not a safe place. It's not where your green mother is. Why would she be all the way underground in a tomb?
She is
You're
obviously...
being lied to. He gets in your head.
Oakfeld, if you do not have the strength to move forward, I'll choose a new champion. You feel the pressure in the back of your mind release. Brenna, make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Wisdom, not good. 7.
Oh no.
So sorry.
Brenna, you feel suddenly this pressure, and in your right ear, you hear this ring, like tinnitus. You blink, and the world is hazy. You are charmed. In the back of your mind, you hear the voice of somebody from your village, a familiar dialect, although you can't quite place who it is. Brenna, you've been gone so long. We've missed you. We're sorry we pushed you away. Please help us.
Where are you? I'll help you if I can.
You say out loud.
Yeah, to nobody.
We're right
Suddenly,
here.
There is this wind. Your hair doesn't move, but you feel it. You smell salt. You smell darkness and loam. It smells like home. A place that you never loved, but suddenly you are filled with nostalgia. And in spite of yourself, you take a step forward. And another. And another.
Oh no, not you too.
We need to get out of here.
Oakfeld, you feel no more pressure. You hear no more words, and you watch suddenly as Brenna turns and begins to walk forward.
Can I just grab Brenna?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm grabbing Brenna and I'm literally just trying to pick her up so we can walk out.
Okay.
I'm going to try to push Akka away.
Okay. Make competing athletics checks, and Brenna, make yours at advantage as suddenly Oakfeld comes up and helps.
Oh my god, natural 1.
Natural 20.
Brenna goes.
I'm
Oakfeld,
gonna
as you
die
take one step
because of
forward, you see
this.
Brenna just walk. Doesn't even break pace, but Akka cannot grab. The hand just slips away. Her too strong, and she strides into the room.
I can't.
Brenna,
I'm
in
gonna
front of you,
Psychic. Actually, can I even do that? I guess Can I do my pull her back with 5 feet of?
Yeah, for sure.
Or
Go ahead and
try
make,
to.
intelligence saving throw, is it?
I think is it intelligence or wisdom?
It's
I think
intelligence or
I think it's strength actually.
I
Yeah.
think it's strength.
I'm
So
pretty
make
sure
a
it's
strength
strength,
saving
yeah.
throw.
24.
Yeah, I gave it a shot.
You
was a
try
good
to
try.
pull, and you can see the hair like kind of flutter in the braid, but then she just steps right through it. No
Of course, it
problem.
wouldn't work. 'Cause-
You step to the edge of this hallway, and looking into this, it extends, and then you see a
Brenna,
second
don't-
level. The ceiling high, and at the ground all around, you see body parts. Dozens of body parts. You smell spoiled meat, but there are no flies, no bugs, no spiders, none of the underdark denizens. And you look up. You see dark feathered wings. I need everybody to roll initiative, and I'm going to give you guys a visual.
We were so close.
You really wanted that psychic rope thing to work.
Yeah.
That was a great idea. Move some stuff.
Not
Yeah.
great.
14.
I'm just sitting there. Eleanor's just like, I'm not strong enough for either of these people. Charm lasts for exactly 1 minute.
This is not charm.
Does initiative
No, I
count
mean,
as an ability check?
No.
Eleanor's charm
You,
only
gently
lasts a
lower
minute.
it.
I gotta ask all the time.
So it's like we'd
Gotta
get to the
ask.
other
Oh,
side of the room and then
motherfuck,
just
there
turn right
he
back
is.
around.
Oh,
He's
is
right
that him?
there.
That's the big boy?
That's him, not that. But I don't know what that is, and I don't like it.
Oh, behind. Oh, I couldn't even
Behemoth.
see.
Give me a
Oh,
moment.
he's a spooky sumbitch.
That is a mind flare lich whatever I've seen one.
Eleanor's like gonna do the equivalent of crossing herself with his nose down.
Don't worry, I already have another character on deck.
That's
Oh,
good.
my.
I tell everybody that for a reason.
I'm
Yep.
prepared. I'm so prepared for round 2.
Oh God, you guys are lucky. Well,
I
actually,
don't
their
feel that
modifiers
lucky
are
right now.
obviously- Okay. Anybody natural? 20?
Natural 20.
Look at
Thank
that.
you, Shay.
I get
Come on.
fucked.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
Save our
25 to 20, everybody. 20 to 15?
17.
17?
16.
Eleanor.
Oh, I forgot to add my
Followed by
bonus.
Brenna.
I'm 17.
Okay. What is your dexterity?
Plus 3.
Oakfeld.
I got a 13.
A 13. You know what, though? With the
Still
exception of Zaystris, you are not last.
great. Awesome. Perfect.
Oh,
It's
sorry, Zaystris is the one in front of you. All the other ones are after you.
Oh, that's yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Great. Perfect. I love
Perfect.
that. That's exactly what I would have wanted to have happen in this situation. The one that I don't want to be anywhere near right now.
There were 2 that had a natural 1 and a natural 2. So you guys got really, really fortunate because they got high initiatives. So, Shay, you are obviously up first. As a distant second, Eleanor, then Brenna, then Oakfeld, and then we're going to go from there. So, Shay, as you all enter at the very far end of this space, all the way over there.
Like here?
Yeah, so right now, right in there is going to be Brenna, followed by Oakfeld, followed by Akka, and then you guys kind of decide after that you're marching order.
I would have stopped where Akka would have turned back.
Sure.
Yeah, so I'm probably in between.
Okay. So you guys are probably about 10 feet out of that doorway. Go ahead and scroll that camera. Alrighty. So, Shay, what do you want to do?
Can I see Brenna going forward?
Yeah, you see Brenna just step through the doorway.
Sure, we have to stop her. I say, as a free
Engage
action.
As a free action out of initiative.
And then I'm gonna go run and grab Brenna.
Fantastic. So you dart forward. You can move Shay forward, right next to Brenna, and if you want, what are you doing?
Grab and go.
Okay. Make competing athletics checks as Brenna. You are not about to be stopped.
I'm so strong. 28.
God. Ah.
26.
26.
Oh.
Suddenly, there's this
Flush of genius!
Alrighty then.
Oh,
Fair enough. Mark that off. That.
Oh,
How
yeah.
many do you have? 'Cause
I have
think that's
5.
6. Okay.
I feel like that's
Uh,
I get them back every rest.
For a short rest too?
I think it's long rest.
If it's long rest, then you've been out of them by 3 now.
No,
Because I have 5. I have 6. That's the 6 that I have counted.
not since the long rest.
I think so. You use it pretty haphazardly.
Use a flash of insight. Genius.
I have that I have one more.
Okay,
But
we'll go with that. So Flash of Genius, you kind of bark out to Shay, like drop low or something to kind of help out with this. In this instant, you hear it as this, and then you just drop, kind of digging into the ground. You push with all your might, and you're able to shove Brenna forward, back about 15 feet into the hall.
I can't
And
pick her
actually,
up and go.
Interestingly, you cannot, but also very interestingly, even if you could, Brenna cannot move through Oakfeld's space as he is not an ally. So as you pull Brenna, stops. You can see almost grabbing on to Oakfeld.
Okay. Is she still? It's like moving back. Is it me, her, then Oakfeld, or is Oakfeld between?
So as you run, she grabs onto Oakfeld. You're kind of like right next to Oakfeld. She's almost between you guys now, diagonally.
Okay.
She's grabbing the arm. You're kind of like holding the waist.
I mean, if she's not going to go any further, I'm going to drop her and back up to where I was.
Okay, so you kind of just let go and continue. You return to the hallway. Shay, that is your turn. Eleanor, from where you are, kind of holding this torch up, you see darkness in the hallway about 10 feet beyond. What do you want to do?
So I'm gonna maneuver myself to get some line of sight.
Okay, you take a step forward, Shay, by you. You take another step forward, Shay by you again the other direction. You take another step forward, now in the doorway.
Okay.
You hold the fire up. In a dim light at the very end, you see a mound of body parts. Just kind of leading up to like a close to 12-foot step, and then there's a second level beyond. And on that level, you see dark wings. You see the gleam of a golden scythe. And then beyond that, dark tentacles writhing in the air.
Okay. So I'm going to attempt to use.
What are you
Because
doing?
both Oakfeld and Brenna are currently not listening.
Don't
So,
seem to be.
okay. So at the very least, I'm going to try to use Panache and Oakfeld, and basically from behind you, you hear, Oakfeld, I swear on whatever honor I have that we will get you where you need to go, but we need to leave now. I'm going to attempt to charm you.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay, so that is my math. 33.
What do I even need to roll? What do I roll for that?
So make an insight check.
Pretty sure my insights are good.
This is Panache, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Panache.
insight check.
18
Still
plus
pretty
4.
good, but
No cigar.
no 30.
All right. All of a sudden, through this haze, you kind of wondering what's happening. You try to stop Akka. You pull Akka away. He backs up. You see almost like concern in Akka's eyes, confusion, and then Eleanor's voice cuts through. And there is some semblance of sense to that.
You're right, Magnolia.
We need to leave. And then, as my bonus action, I'm just gonna call the sword, and just to have it out, and not
Sure.
to command it to attack anything.
Sure.
And whatever I can, ask Ophel to clear the door and head back toward the way we came.
Okay, you take another 10 steps back out into the hallway. The sword up next to you and follows. Eleanor, at the end of your turn, the very top of this secondary tier, you see these black tentacles kind of lift and work almost like arms. And they lift the sort of rotting carcass of an Aarakocra. Even through this form, you can see these tentacles now dripping through the torn flesh of the face. It turns, and these dark, black, bulbous eyes, even through the dark, cut all the way through the doorway beyond you and look to you, Akka. Make me complete. And he rises up and drifts 30 feet forwards down the hall. That is one of his legendary actions. Brenna.
This one or this
The
one?
wings.
No, the
The
one that looks like
wingies?
Zeistries.
Okay.
That creature has not talked or moved
Okay.
yet.
Yeah, it's this one.
No.
No.
That
No,
creature
he's-
has not
Oh.
spoken
You were
or
right
moved
the
yet.
first
Oh,
time.
okay. It
Real
was
Zeistries is
Zeistries.
currently like a rotting Eric
Coming,
over
like,
carcass.
here?
Yeah,
Okay.
right about
I'm
there.
just
And he is
chaos
floating.
over here. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
He's floating about 20 feet up. There you go.
She had a yeah, that's the dice cage.
You see him drifting and moving, these black tentacles kind of becoming almost a cloak behind him. But that is his legendary action. Eleanor, what would you like to do? Oh, no, sorry, that was Eleanor. Brenna, what would you like to do? Oakfeld, you're on deck.
What's my goal here?
So at this moment, you are under the effects of Dominate Person. Your goal is to move forward to
Okay.
help. And you sense that somewhere up on that second floor, above this mound of rotting parts, is somebody you can help. You see glints of a cage and a
Okay.
small figure with him.
I move forward.
Okay. So you can take your full action to move all the way forward if you want.
Yeah.
As you kind of pass underneath Zeistries, he's going to dip low. His hand reaches out. His eye is still on you, Akka, never leaving away. And you feel these long,
Brenna,
dark
no!
fingernails just scrape across your scalp, caressing more than anything. Give me one moment. Move a bad roll. That is going to be a 19 to hit.
Yeah, that's
Okay. You are going to take 7 points of cold damage. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
27.
27. Damn. As these fingers touch you, just barely
Barbarian. That's all I
gracing the
do.
top of your head, you feel one fingernail kind of grace along the braid. And in that moment, you feel ice crystals begin to spread and yank away, even in this dazed state, feeling the wrongness of it. And he just drifts beyond you.
Sorry, so where did I end up?
So you end up right within, and as you end your run, you kind of
Like under?
and you look down, and you are stepping in gore. Kind of up to your ankles at this point, and you see it gets to about, for you, waist deep before getting to the wall. That is your turn. That
yeah.
brings us to Oakfeld. What would you like to do?
I'm going to follow the orders because I mean that's what I have to do. I'm
You're
going
not-
to
He's charmed.
basically head back and open that door. Basically,
Okay.
Okay.
Where are you going?
walking back, I guess.
Okay. You listen to Eleanor's voice just ringing in your ears. You turn, kind of nodding. You begin to walk back. No problem. You can move yourself 60 feet down the hall if you want, so all the way to the other end.
I'll probably stay with the group.
Okay, so you begin to walk.
But I still have like the idea of like going to open a door.
That brings us to Zeistries. Fuck. He is going to look up at you.
Yep.
If you could move him another 30 feet towards the doorway, just drifting slowly.
Don't bring me in.
So here.
And you gave him just enough time to get a short rest in, which means
Oh, no. Death cloud.
Death cloud.
Great.
so he's gonna. It's just a little bit further that way to incorporate.
Does it
all
go
of you.
through the wall?
Oh, it
Does it get me?
certainly does. It's going to get everybody, I think, but Oakfeld to the very edge.
Nice.
And I don't think it really is going to affect Shay, really, but it is getting her.
Would my mantle help in this because
It
it's
certainly
magic?
would.
Okay, cool. That's helps
Okay.
a little.
So, as he drifts by, the hand just touching the top of your head, Brenna, the other one lifts up. These dark fingernails kind of split and crack, and as he twists his hand, you see this little bit of reality shimmer and poof, into this dust. I need everybody to make, I believe it is a Constitution saving throw. It is a, Constitution saving throw, please. This hallway fills with this toxic cloud.
Oh, oh no.
What's that?
I got a 24.
24? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was
you're
that,
out
yeah.
of it?
3.
3, great.
26.
Oh, no.
26. Okay, I will check in with
Oh,
Hannah when we
no.
get back. Eleanor, you're going to take 22 points of poison damage. Aka, you're going to take half of that at 11. Shay, you would take half of that, however it is poison. And so as this kind of goes across you, you can feel the energy within your body kind of changing the flow of the current, resisting that damage somewhat. And then we'll find out from Hannah what happened with Brenna when they get back. That is his action. And that is all he's going to do for this turn.
Can you describe what Zeistree's kind of his like aura and what he looks like?
Sure. So you can see this Aarakocra, a bird-like person. Could you remind me what kind of bird you look like?
Oh God.
Rakiel?
It was
an eagle, I believe.
like a hawk, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, hawk or falcon. I don't
Falcon.
know.
It was
Yeah,
a falcon. Yeah, that makes sense.
Falcon-like.
So you can see almost like a falcon-like, at one point vibrant, kind of bluer feathers, now gray, matted together with gore. The lower part of the beak is gone, and you see these tentacles just drifting down, and this horrible lamprey-like mouth every now and then visible from the bottom. The eyes, normally these kind of bird-like eyes, you can see around the sockets just kind of this dark, dried blood, and there are these big black kind of bulbous eyes that have pushed their way out in the meantime. Looks almost as if he's shifting into an illithid again from his original host form.
Oh snap!
So as he drifts down and kind of twists his hand, reality ripples and bursts into this cloud of toxic yellow cloud. It stays kind of sinking, drifting through the stone. You would imagine it will stay there for some time. But that is his turn. That brings us to Aka. What would you like to do?
We're gonna roll.
Oh man.
You're gonna
Oh,
do-
yeah. Could you make a constitution
Oh,
saving
yeah.
throw?
I'm sorry.
Is she on the other side?
24.
Oh, no. Right.
again.
You're on the other side. You're in the body pile. You're fine.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah,
You're in the
no,
body
fine.
pile. You're fine.
It's the only time with the body pile.
That's why I figured it was okay to just take
Yeah,
a little
yeah, no, you're good.
constitutional.
Dang it.
What are you doing, Aka?
Shoot. I think I got a haste. I'm fucking terrified right now. I'm hasting and I'm trying to get out of here.
Okay.
Flying out the back door. I'm trying to make my way back towards the devil, I think.
Sure. Give me 1 second. Gonna use another legendary action for reaction.
So while I'm
I've
casting
never used
haste
these
and I'm
counties that
moving
high full-
as far back as he allows me before he does something.
Sure. All of a sudden, as you begin to haste, you feel the power within your body accelerate almost violently. You feel a little bit ill, but time slows around you as you activate haste. Suddenly, it slows down even further. How many hit points do you have?
Total or
Total. Or currently?
65?
Your mind was blank. You are stunned.
Damn. Do I
You
get
can you can repeat. It's not a save. It's
Oh.
just flat under a certain HP. This is power word stun. And as he holds out his hand as a reaction, as you turn to flee, in your mind you hear, "Stop!" And every fiber of your body stops. Your heart, you feel, stop.
Damn.
And then it begins to beat again, but you cannot move.
Oh, fuck.
Anything else
Abject.
on your turn?
I can't do anything,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
Abject horror?
Fantastic. So you heal a little. That is going to be your turn. That brings us to the next group.
Am I still, for all intents and purposes, hasted?
I actually have to think about that. Yes, no, I believe.
Okay.
It's concentration based.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
concentration based.
Do me a favor.
Oh, don't.
These guys,
I don't like these
Don't
favors.
like this.
they're going to dart backwards towards Brenna. They come from either side of the doorway, from underneath
Boop,
Zeistree's.
boop, 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 boop.
Yep.
Doop.
And suddenly, Shay, as you are running and kind of turn, you see two blurs of purple move down the hallway. Moments here. This makes me so happy. Oh, friends are
Glad someone's happy.
Can you turn the speakers down a little bit?
Snug that down there. Here we go. Okay. Brenna, all of a sudden behind you, you hear footsteps. And as you turn, there are two individuals. You see this woman dressed similar to Shay, but purple and black clothing. And then you see this quarterstaff spinning towards your face. The other person is a half-elf gentleman. You see a fist in a similar kind of formation.
Oh, my face.
You're taking a whole bunch of hits. From the first person, that is going to be... Ooh! 2 natural ones. Look at
They
this.
hit each other.
Okay, hang on. I need different
Punch
dice.
each other's heads off.
So yeah, you kind of see they both fly using this incredible amount of speed, and as they stop, kind of slipping in the gore, both kind of into the wall. They miss these first hits. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to deduct 1 attack from each of them. You're still taking 2 more attacks from each one. Or sorry, 1 more attack from each one. That is going to be 27 to hit
Hits.
and a 12 to hit.
Does not hit.
Okay, so you take 7 points of bludgeoning damage, and you can go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Natural 1. For a total of 10.
Ooh, yeah.
You are stunned.
Yeah.
Until the end of your next turn. The 2 of you now kind of locking up. As this first quarterstaff hits you right along the side of the neck, you feel your legs go numb, and then your whole body kind of locks. That second one's getting attack on you. That is just a 14. Although you're stunned, I believe they get advantage on that now. 21.
Yeah, that hits.
Alrighty. That is going to be 8 points of bludgeoning damage. And then, you know what? The one that didn't stun you, it's going to burn a key point, and that's going to be Flurry of Blows. It's 2 more attacks. That is a 26 to hit.
Yes, it hits.
That's higher. So, you're going to take an additional 8 points of damage and 6 points of damage. As this other one, you get stunned, you lock up, and you just take 2 shots, just right to the kidney. You feel this immense pain, and you almost double over, still kind of stunned.
Why?
I believe you get to make a Constitution saving throw because you took damage.
Another natural 1.
Unfortunately,
Wow.
Throw it away!
still, you can almost hear somebody calling for help. And even with this pain, even locked up, your arm begins to move, to crawl upwards. That is their turn. That brings us to our final friend.
2 natural 1s.
Okay. You watch as this large winged creature finally turns. What you see is this angelic figure, severely, severely beautiful, but frightening. The skin kind of dark and tainted. You see black feathers instead of white, or, from the stories that you've heard, fire. And you see from one of the eyes kind of an empty, rotting socket, this one maggot kind of wither and kind of wrinkle back in. The other eye blinks. She smiles, kind of watching. And then she turns to this table. You see elements of body parts on it, and she begins to kind of move. Reality next to her kind of flickers. Something happening. That is her turn. That brings us to you, Shay. What would you like to do? You, at the end of this hallway, see in front of you this cloud of toxic yellow smoke.
Do I see Akka?
Everything in that zone is obscured, but as you guys are both on the other side of it, yeah, you can see Akka. You see this glint of like metal.
Okay. Do I see Zystrees at all?
From this vantage point, no. You see this fog, kind of too thick to see through.
Shay's gonna back up.
Okay. How far are you backing up?
out of anybody else getting me range, but
Okay.
still within the ability to get back if
Okay.
needed.
I mean, that's still pretty far.
Yeah.
You back up about 45 feet, walking all the way down the hallway, all the way into this room behind you. You
And
just
if
hear
anybody hostile approaches me, I'm gonna hit them. But otherwise,
behind you, these purple flames flare up a little bit, and you hear, "You are back."
yes.
That is your turn.
Mhm.
Eleanor, what would you like to do?
So I don't have line of sight, right? Because I am in a cloud.
Yes, and you are choking. This toxic smog feels like it develops hands and rips at your throat.
Okay. So I know Brenna is somewhere in front of me, but I can't see anything. And going in there is probably certain death. So Eleanor's just gonna try to back up out of the cloud.
Okay, sure. You kind of grab onto the wall and sliding along it, move back 10 feet, 15 feet, and kind of burst into fresher air. Still stale down here. Kind of looking beyond, you see Shay kind of turned. Yeah, what do you want to do?
I gotta look at Shay because I can't leave her in there while like just choking on my words. But I'm going to hold my action to see if anyone comes through, any hostile movement comes through the
Okay.
smoke.
Sure, sounds like a plan. That is your turn, Eleanor. Brenna. In this moment, you kind of look around, the world a haze. You feel like there is somebody who needs your help above.
Okay. Am I still stunned or?
Oh, right, you were stunned. Yeah, till the end of your turn. There you go. They'd make a Constitution saving throw. What I will say, though, if I remember correctly, actually, that stun does benefit you slightly.
Okay.
But
Keeping me in one place anyway.
Yeah, it is.
19.
Great. Suddenly, your body, almost you feel the rage begin to build, and it allows you to shatter through this paralysis that holds you. And for a moment, you kind of shake your head and look down, and you are standing in a pile of body parts. You turn, there are these two monks kind of winding up to hit you again. You see this cloud of toxic smoke, very similar to another that you've seen. Everything has gone wrong. That is the end of your turn. That's fantastic. Oakfeld. Through this cloud, you can just see vague shapes.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
I have to do what I was told to do. I'm going to, at this point, since I've seen most of the party going, I'm going to just full action get to the door. Can I make it to the door?
From where you are,
Yeah.
it's not your full. It's maybe 20 feet to get to the door. From down the hallway, yeah, you can get to the door, no problem.
Okay. I'm going to lift up the door with the burr on it.
Oh, you're going all the way back to that door.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, eventually. I mean, if as close as I can get to that door. I mean,
Okay, so
I imagine that
your
was
full
what.
speed's 80 feet.
25 feet.
So dashing
So
would be
50.
50.
So you run through this, and you kind of turn around the corner. You see down the hallway, Shay. Right in front of you, a little bit closer, Eleanor, and then beyond Shay, this kind of bright purple flame, and you can see just the horns and the face of the devil kind of leaning, smiling. That is your turn?
That's my turn.
Fantastic. Oakville, that is your turn. That brings us to Zystries. Akka, you can't move. You kind of choke in this cloud. He's going to drift through the cloud, and suddenly, through the dark, through this fog, you see the silhouette. You see these black tendrils kind of twisting, and then he draws closer to you. You see the face, this kind of Aarakocra-like form. He's going to reach down, one hand towards you, grasp your head on one side, pull your head closer. You see these tentacles kind of drifting over your face, and in your mind you hear, "Make me complete." He is going to make an attack on you. This is at advantage as you are stunned. I believe it's...
So my next character is gonna be like totally happy bard living all the way on the other side of the world
That is going to
on a
be...
beach somewhere.
Every week you turn up and just
Yeah. Just like sing a local song on the beaches.
Songs are good.
Anything interesting declines all
Yeah.
adventures.
Are you technically hasted?
I'm technically hasted.
That's a great point then. However, this is a critical hit, so this is gonna.
Oh,
suck
that
for
sounds
you.
about right.
So technically, very technically, does a 28 hit?
Technically, it does still hit,
So there
unless
you
I
go.
cast shield as my reaction.
But you can't.
You're
'cause
stunned.
That I'm stunned. Yeah.
All right, so you are going to take, as these tentacles latch on, you take 14 points of psychic damage, and you are grappled. You look up, and as these grab each side of your face, it begins to pull you in, and that lamprey-like mouth scissors open. You feel your arm pulling and pulling towards him, and you see the black flesh begin to slough off, pulling away from the skin and the muscle. It begins to spasm. You see the darkness turn to metal, to wood, to stone, to bone. For 1 minute, your entire arm, just teeth. Dozens and dozens of teeth before just black again. But it begins to move towards Zeistris. And again, you hear in your mind, I will have my power back. That is Zeistris' turn. That brings us to Akka. Akka, you are stunned. You feel this thing getting
Are you-
closer.
Did he stun him again?
Am I still stunned or am
No,
I
but you're
grappled
stunned
now?
until the end of your next turn. Right? This would be the end of your turn.
Oh, okay.
So at
the end of my
your turn-
next turn. Yeah.
At the end of
Is
your
it
turn, you're
The end
stunned
of
up.
his turn, or is it the end of the caster's turn?
It'd be
It's
really
not a
nice
caster,
if
technically. I mean, it is just stunning strike. You know better than me.
It's at the end of the caster's turn.
So yeah. You are,
Oh, okay.
You are unstunned. However, you are grappled.
Okay. Can I use one of my actions to try and break the grapple?
You certainly can. So go ahead. Make it an intelligence saving throw.
Is it resisted by
Sorry. This is an athletics check because you're breaking
athletics
out.
check?
Yep.
Uh,
I'm getting ahead of myself.
all right. Big 5.
You struggle and you search in your mind as this gets closer and closer, almost inexorable in its movement. You wish that you had some kind of an idea or a flash of genius to call upon. But you don't.
I mean,
It pulls you forward.
10 would still.
Mean.
Okay, so that's my. So what can I do as I'm grappled?
So-
Besides try to break my
You
grapple.
just can't move away.
Yeah,
go
your
for it.
your
I just
movement
can't
is
move
0.
away. Okay.
You could always do the thing I said.
What are you doing?
Can I cast no, none of this is gonna work.
What are you doing?
I think I'm just gonna try to shatter him with the imbued weapon shatter.
Sure. So you go ahead and kind of reaching up this arm, you cast Shatter. What is it, a con save?
Yes.
That is going to be, I'm guessing, a failure. That is a 15.
That is a failure.
Fantastic. Roll some
Alright.
damage.
Great.
And what kind of a damage is this?
This is thunder damage.
Fantastic.
This is chunder damage.
And who does that damage? What's the radius on that?
I'm just doing square,
Gotcha,
10-foot radius sphere centered on
Go for
like right behind him, so he gets it, and then like whatever's
Yeah, he's
you know
probably full
like
of the whole
yeah,
of
like
us
I'm
at this
like
point.
we're like he's on my face, so it's
Yeah.
like right in front of my face,
You want the edge
back.
of the template to be right on his head.
Yeah.
With his back behind.
Yeah,
Sure.
basically like wherever
Fantastic.
that
You
is.
got it. Okay.
All right. That's I can't math. 16 points of
16?
thunder damage.
Sure. this shatters across the space. You see the robes ripple.
Yeah, I gotta do more than that. Fuck. That's 2 of my actions. Can I bonus action try to push him, I guess? With my...
with your
with my
telekinesis? You can
telekinesis?
certainly try. Yeah. What is that he gets to roll?
Strength save.
Okay.
Worst phrase.
Oh,
Try to psychically
that
push
is going to
you,
be
it's
a
fine.
2.
He gets pushed back 5 feet.
Again, as he is flying, you just drifts in the air, a little further away, and as you are grappled, you kind of.
Oh, I'm still grappled. Doesn't get.
So you drift 5 feet with him as well.
Damn it! I pull him back towards the door.
You're already pushed to 5 feet forward. Anything else, Aka?
Start writing up my new character.
I'm guessing the cloud obscures Saul too much, so we can't see it.
Can I
Yeah,
use
it's-
my
it's tough to see
reaction
through
to
the cloud.
disengage?
Unfortunately, no. Okay, so Aka, that was your very effective turn. That brings us to these 2 monks.
Forgot about them.
They hear the shatter, and so they're going to turn. No, they're going to keep going for Brenna. Brenna, you're going to take a lot of attacks.
Bring it on.
Oh yeah, they will. Have you haven't raged yet, right?
No, because I've been dominated person.
Yeah.
Person dominated.
I'm personally dominated. All right, so first, the first one is getting 3 unarmed strikes. That is going to be, what did they get? That is a 27, a 17, and a 24.
All 3 hit.
Nice. You are going to take 13 points from the first one,
I gotta break the
8
grapple.
points from the second,
Nothing matters.
and 11 from the third. You can see she takes the quarterstaff, swings it like over her elbow, and hits you in the middle part, kind of right between the ribs. You feel the air kind of driven from you, and then all of a sudden, as you bend forward, it cracks you in the chin. Your head snaps back, just in time for the other person to kick you in the back of the head. Perhaps. Oh, definitely. That is going to be a 16 to hit.
Nope.
Okay, a 15 to hit,
Nope.
and a 24 to hit.
That one hits.
Fantastic. And that is going to be 8 points of bludgeoning damage, and you can make a Constitution saving throw, please.
For the 3rd time.
Oh no!
Natural 1.
Oh my god! Throw that one away too.
Yeah, really.
Throw them all away.
As your head jerks
Get them
back
outta here.
from that
Get
hit,
them outta
here.
a roundhouse kick from this other one, the heel cracks you in the back of the head, and you see stars. You are stunned. That is their turn, however. That is going to bring us to this other creature for a second, kind of looking over. Again, kind of raising a hand over, and you see this kind of wicked-looking dagger down and across something on the table.
This one?
Reality again, yes, reality again. And you can see glints of red, and you feel this hot wind blow through. And then reality back to normal, not quite complete. That is her turn. That brings us to the top of the round. Shay, you are up. Eleanor, you are on deck. Shay, what would you like to do?
Can I see Streets from where I am, or is he too obscure?
Way too obscured. So right now, you went Sphinx room,
He's
hallway,
here.
devil.
Right?
You can move far
Right.
and still
You're,
be
like,
in range to
at
get
the
back.
devil's
so.
room.
Moving back into a room where I could see.
Okay. You run 45 feet forwards, stop, and you can see now you're all the way in the middle of the Sphinx room looking back down this way.
Mhm.
So there is 30 feet, then this begins, and then, that's where you are.
But he's too obscured,
Currently, yes. Kind of in the middle of this cloud.
and so I don't see anything else other than this cloud.
You run by Eleanor, and then you can see in front of you Oakfeld.
Shay,
You hear...
do it. Don't let him take it.
I can't see you.
You can hear
What are
me.
you doing?
Can I hear Akka where he's coming from?
Probably not, truthfully. There's a lot going on. You
You're
can't really
talking like
breathe.
into his mouth right now.
I mean, if I can't see anything, then Eleanor Oakfeld, let's go. And moving out.
Okay. Continues to run. Eleanor, what would you like to do? Brenna, you're on deck.
I can't see shit. Like, everything I can do is reliant on, like, line of sight. So I can't see anything. And I don't want to leave Brenna and Akka here. Would I know roughly how large the cloud of gas is?
You've seen the spell before, and
Yeah.
so certainly, yeah, you have a rough idea. And seeing the edges of it, you know, probably like 20 feet across.
Okay. So, this is gonna be the dumbest thing I've ever done. But I'm going to, she's gonna like hold her breath and try to see if she could run to the other side,
Sure.
and in the process see if she can like
She's gonna bump into
She's
us.
gonna, like,
and,
arms out,
knock
she's
Zystre's
like-
over.
What?
Zystre's just lands bad and dies.
Eleanor, for a moment, you remember being back in Dungannon and writing a letter to your family. And you wonder if they'll ever get it. But you close your eyes and you run into this mist. You feel your nose, your eyes, your ears, all the mucous membranes beginning to kind of singe and burn. And as you hold out your hands, you run right into the back. This cloaked, rotting figure, Zystre's. You see these like tentacles all around something. You see Akka's body like almost limp in the arms. You are choking. What would you like to do? You cannot progress forward. They're in this.
we're guessing they're like
They're
somewhere
in the 10-foot
middle.
wall. So actually, yeah, you because they're standing like this, you can get through Akka's space and kind of move through them if you want.
Okay, can I get behind Zystre's?
Yeah.
I'm just
I
gonna
see
put
where this
myself
is
here.
going.
I'm putting myself here and I'm not flying. Can I reach him with my sword?
Well, he
Unfortunately,
went
not. They're
down,
about-
He's-
right?
yeah.
you went
he can
down,
probably-
but you were also flying.
No, I was on the ground at that point.
Okay, so then yeah,
I
it's
had-
probably only about 10 feet off the ground.
Okay, so
So
I'm
I was in
going
the
to
doorway, or right
pray
outside of the doorway.
to anyone that can hear me and just try to stab through Zystre's.
Okay.
Hammer him.
Make an attack at disadvantage. You can't really see that well.
No.
It's definitely not flanking because Akka's being eaten.
Right.
But go ahead and make just a flat attack roll.
Yeah. No. Absolutely not. It's a 2.
That's a 2. And so Talon's
great
words
idea.
are true. This is the dumbest thing that you've done so far.
Yeah.
At this point, you kind of swing out Akka. You hear ting off your armor as that slash kind of hits you in the arm. Doesn't hurt.
Out of here.
Okay, so I was attack. I can do bonus action to see if I
Like
can
try to like.
dash back out.
Sure. And you kind of gasping for breath as you emerge from this cloud.
Yep.
Anything else, Eleanor?
I can't do anything else, but I was hoping to
Brenna,
just get something.
at the end of your turn, you kind of feel the body unlock. That's your turn. At the moment where you are, you still are kind of being curb stomped into the ground. But
I don't think Brenna's long for this world,
that
honestly.
is your turn. Oakfeld, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna continue doing what I was charmed to do. I'm gonna go to the door and try to lift it up.
Move over to the door. 12 seconds haven't passed on your charm. Go ahead and make an athletics check.
15 plus 4, 19.
Oh, rough. You get the fingers underneath. There is no handle on the side of the door. And so hard to get purchase. Your fingers slipping and slipping. You get it a little bit up and then down.
What about the
That's
orb?
true. You know what? I'll say that takes 5 off the DC. You only missed it by 1. All right. So as you slide up to this thing, kind of charmed, you see this goopy, crushed, kind of cancerous tree mass, like splitting more and more as this pressure goes down. You stick your fingers under and kind of lift 2-3 feet off the ground, and you hold the door
Thank
open.
God for cancer masses.
There you go. Oakville, that is your turn.
Yep.
Brings us back to Zeistries. Okay. So. Still attached and latched onto you. You hear this voice in your mind. Thank you for coming to me. I will give you a reward. You shall live, but not whole. You feel your arm ripped from your body.
No.
You hit the ground bleeding, this bone protruding from the stomach. You're also going to take a lot of damage. But you are not having your brain eaten, so that's kind of a plus.
I might just
jeez.
bleed out on the floor here, though.
You actually might straight die. Give me a second.
Oh no.
But he said.
Yeah, he said I would be. He said he would leave me alive. He lied.
You take 50 points of slashing damage.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Literally 1 HP
Oh
left.
my
Okay.
As your arm away
Look at
from your
that.
body. For interesting, because of the rules here, the meat is torn through the armor as the armor from the arm stays. The flesh, the bone, the muscle is ripped through the cracks and crevices of your armor, kind of sliding out like flesh spaghetti. And the arm is incorporated into his body.
Oh no.
You see the feathers kind of molt away. The beak, the top part, falls off. More tentacles, free and fresh and slimy. The eyes seem to almost grow with power. He seems to get larger in this space. You see beyond this winged figure turn and smile, and all of you in your minds can hear, "Can we go now?" Zeistries turns. "Yes. Our objective awaits beyond." You see one final cut and reality at the end. Tears. There is a shattering sound in your minds, and you see the red desert of Calypsos beyond. Zeistries turns, looks at you. You kind of almost on the
Probably
edge of unconsciousness.
writhing on the ground in pain since I'm at 1 HP and just got my arm torn off.
Aka, this is the greatest thing you will ever do. Be proud. You feel the cloak kind of drift over your face as he floats over you, 30 feet towards this platform. That is his turn. That brings us to you, Aka.
God damn it.
You bleed on the ground. Hearing your heart in your ears, feeling it in your face. You can feel the life force leaving your body, flooding onto the cold stone floor. What do you want to do? You have 1 HP.
Still hasted.
Technically,
Is that a concentration?
it is
Yeah, it
actually,
is.
yeah.
I cannot fail Constitution saves to maintain concentration
Because of
my ridiculously high Constitution saves and also my reaction to.
because of the
Save
way
it.
that concentration works, it's based on the amount of damage that you take. I believe you still need to make a Constitution unless it flat says you don't need to make a check.
Oh,
You need
okay.
a natural 20 to succeed
Oh, okay. Let's see.
because it's based on your damage.
And I have a lot of damage.
Yeah. You
Alright.
technically shouldn't be able to make this. The natural 20 is what lets you make this on concentration
Okay.
checks.
Okay. Oh, that's cocked. Let's pencil out of here.
I want you to succeed. I think that'd be great.
I want me to succeed too.
That's the nicest thing.
No, I have advantage, I think, to maintain.
You do, and with the cloak
Yeah.
that you have, and also with that
Yeah.
resistance, yeah, you'd have advantage anyways.
Let's cocked again. Ooh, okay.
Is it a natural 20?
No, it's
Yeah.
a
There's-
17.
Mathematically, there's no way.
What if I do my reaction?
Can you make that 17 into like a 45?
Whenever the creature fails a con saving throw to maintain concentration on a spell,
Yes.
it can use its reaction to succeed instead, expending 1 charge of my
What?
Mind Sharpener Artificer
No
infusion.
way.
So
What
there
is
you go.
that?
It's my artificer's
You
infusion.
gotta read your abilities.
That is so crazy.
That
That's
could save me lots
well,
of
I
time.
got. I'm sorry.
I
I
need to read
would have
better
saved you
check.
the time.
So,
I knew I had something. Alright.
um,
A lot of reaction saving.
you're able
bullshit.
to kind of push through.
Cool. Now that I am still hasted, I'm going to fire off one of the cantrips of Sacred Flame at his back.
Mhm.
Kind of, just a futile
Little fuck
attempt.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. That's my first
Yeah,
action.
go ahead, roll for an attack.
All right. 23.
Okay. 23 hits.
Okay. Sacred Flame. Sacred Flame. Let's see. Sacred Flame. It's 2d6.
3d damage.
3d8. 3d8. All right. Sacred Flame. Come on. 11 plus. Yeah, 11. Right.
11 plus 11?
11.
Okay,
11.
it's flat 11. Alright. You gesture
radiant
weakly
damage.
with your one remaining arm.
Well, it's with the laser
Oh, okay,
from
okay,
the all-purpose thing.
Alright.
This
Drea,
little mechanical arm comes
Drea,
out.
help me.
You can see the single rune on it. Zzz, and then over there, like the Predator laser, this thing just burns on the back of Zeistries. You see him stop. Is that the end of your turn?
No, because then I have another action.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the fuck out of there as fast as I can.
Okay.
Stand up.
Yeah, so dashing.
Well, so you used your action.
I am hasted.
Yes.
I can use my second action to dash.
Okay.
Then I will use my move action to also move.
Okay, so you're going to run that full thing?
Yes, which I believe is 120?
Hope that fuck you didn't mess you up.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to burn the last 2 legendary actions. Oh, no, he regenerated them, so he has all 3. I'm going to burn 2 legendary actions so he can cast a spell.
Oh, but he said I could go.
He did say that.
He
Are
turns.
you saying this my
And he
bitch is
says-
a liar?
I was letting you go, but if you would like, you may die. And as he says that, do you have under 100 hit points?
Oh, yeah, I do.
You are dead.
Oh.
Power will kill.
Power word kill.
Kill.
You feel
Power word die.
reality shatter around you. Your mind slides.
I should have just ran.
You see
Fuck.
through your eyes these 2 portals of this kind of ceiling fade away and away and away, and you are falling and falling.
Damn.
And Akka, as you fade to death, do you have any last words?
No one's there to hear him.
I'm there.
I'm thinking him in my head, but I think it's probably like just a sad, resigned fate.
As you fall into
shouldn't have done
darkness
that,
with nobody around to hear
I
your
shouldn't
words,
have done that. Fuck you.
the last thing that
That's what
you
I said.
see is this one monk kind of stand over you. Another one kind of drifting into your fading vision. You feel this slight tap with your toes and your with one of their toes on your face as they kind of nudge your face to the side, and then you go to black.
Damn.
Zeistries floats across and into this portal, gone. This winged creature takes a step through, kind of turning to look, and then disappears through as well.
Damn.
This cloud settles into the stone, and for those of you remaining in the hall or in the cloud, you can see Akka's corpse lying on the stone ground. And because it is 11:40, this is where we're going to end for the week.
Damn.
So thank you guys for joining. I don't know why, but you make me kill your character.
Well, I had to do it. Akka had to do that.
Good thing we got a resurrection stone. Just
I do have a... Hey.
But man, I don't want your characters to die, but you just
I know,
give
but
these
like,
things.
Akka's gotta... After all that, he's not gonna let him just fucking take him down like that. Give him that fucking kick in the ribs and walk away. Fuck you, man. That's the fuck youest of fuck yous.
No, Power word kill
Power
is the
word
fuck
kill,
you.
yeah.
It's the fuck you.
Yeah, that's true.
He's got you there.
It's true,
Thank
yeah.
you so much for hanging out with us this evening. Hannah, somebody had you sign us off, so I'll just go ahead and throw this over to our players.
Well, folks, it was terrible. We hope you had more fun than we did. We'll look forward to seeing you next week and learning about Matt's brand new character.
Yeah, he's gonna be a fucking goblin bard from across the world. Fucking, all he does is swear and fucking.
Have I told you about the music genre of goblins? It's rap.
Oh,
Oh,
great.
That would be so good.
Yeah, I can't rap well enough to do that,
Oh my
so
God,
I'm just
it's
gonna
so
swear
good.
a lot.
Yeah, no, I really thought about the musical thing. Anyways,
Just gonna swear and, like, I don't know, spit at stuff.
Hannah, please, sorry.
Thanks for joining us. We will see you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.
See ya.